Whatever your project, Canadian Tire can help it take shape. Canadian Tire, still the right place to do it.
Harry, I talked to Brian Savage this morning in the Canadiens dressing room. What's going on, Brian? What's happening? A goal a game. He says he just feels skating so easy now. It's flowing, and everything is happening.
Look at the stats he's got for games in October. That's counting tonight. And then after October, he slides away. But you used to have another favorite name, Mr. October, did you not?
Yes, there's another sport starting tonight.
Well, as hot as Savage is, that's as cool as Trevor Linden is. He's his 10th game. He's yet to score a goal. Came over from the New York Islanders for a first-round pick in a Montreal attempt to shore up their loss of Mark Recchi especially. But Trevor's had a little tough time finding the net. First 8 seasons, just under 30 goals, only 44 in the last 3, and only 12 shots on goal in the 9 games plus nearly the first period of this one.
Carverley again, number 15 for the Maple Leafs. Good play, and Kapov got it in over the line. And Johnson Chris Stitch was right there. Carverley once again. Very careful with the puck. Hardly ever gives the puck away till now. No damage though. And it's dumped down the ice. Chris Stitch went after it, and Kapov right in! Oh, his right pad, and now the net is off. Hackett was down, and he's still on the ice, slow to get up. Remember now, he was hurt, back spasms, and a shoulder injury from last Monday night's game against the Islanders.
Now, Christich was a little slow getting up on that play as well. Montreal was lucky they didn't get a penalty for knocking the net off. But here's the chance by Big Antropov, and then the scramble ensues. The net isn't off yet. You can see it's knocked off by a Montreal player that wasn't pushed into the crease. I am surprised he doesn't get a delay of the game penalty unless it happened after the whistle. But here's Hackett very awkwardly stopping that shot. He was slow to get up. He appears to be fine, and it was Richter who knocked the net off and got away with it.
7:28 left in the first period. 1-0 Montreal. The first meeting was in Montreal. The Canadiens were beaten 4-1 by Toronto. Alice can't get out front. Back in by Karpovtsev's shot. Hackett made the save. And again, slow getting back up. And on one knee and just barely got back to his skates. Hayes dump it in. Funny hop on the boards. Joseph was about to leave the net and play, and he couldn't. Montreal back. Hogan got the puck ahead, but now Darby lost it. Perreault sets it up. Shot! And a nice glove save by Jeff Hackett. Now with the stoppage, Will, watch Hackett. He was slow twice trying to get back up, and he's still down now after making that save.
Nice passing play here. Hoagland, who leads the Leafs in goals, takes a pass from Perreault. Gets a pretty good shot away after controlling a bouncing puck, and Hackett makes a pretty routine save. He's out at the top of the blue ice and makes the stop, but he is a while getting off his knees, and you wonder whether he's still a little shaken up. I'd be shaken up after that Monday collision for a month.
It's a terrific hit. Hackett was way out of the net over on the boards and got creamed. Koivu gets ready. Korolev, the Leaf player in the face-off. 1-0. Montreal. Savage the goal. 6:50 left in the first period. Markov will come back to pick it up. Savage comes up there, forechecking. Markov got rid of it quickly, and the Leafs get it out. Korolev, center. Walsh is on the right, but he keeps going himself. Now shoots it. Hard shot, too, but he missed on the short side. Berezin and Korolev after it. Berezin tries to come out. Here he is. Right through the crease to pass again. Koivu can't clear it. Berezin fired at it. And Montreal pick it up and clear it away from Hackett. Savage to center. He's roughed up a bit by Markov. Korolev. turns and gets the puck out of the zone. Ball shoots it in. The Leafs will change on that shoot in. 6 minutes left in the period. Savage knocked it down beautifully. That goes in after it. Knocked it. Of course, Higgins couldn't get a shot though. Finally, Joseph makes a save and hangs on to it. Montreal leading 1-0. Savage the goal.
Well, that stop by Joseph was a little more difficult than it looked because it was a screen shot. I think Poulin was the guy who ended up with the puck. Savage made a great pass reception. And then here's the shot by Poulin through the legs of Thomas and right by the legs of Yuskevich.
Face-off comes to Joseph's left. Montreal controlling it. Hector shot off a stick. Got in front of the net though. Joseph was down and really out of the play. But his teammates cleared it away. Leading back. Stevenson. Big strong skater. Knocked by Camerlay on that attempt. Camerlay moves up quickly. The Canadiens line. Pass gets over in front. Step at the line. Yuskevich. Shot right out. Rebound. The goal from the lip of the crease, tying the game.
Alan McCauley gets his second goal of the season and his second goal in the last 2 games. On a rush that looks like it's broken down as Montreal's in good shape, but here comes McCauley. He goes to the front of the net, gets this chance. On the second one, he shovels it by Hackett. A good low point shot that got through by Yuskevich. And McCauley hangs in there long enough to dump it in.
At 14:37 of the first period. Savage the first goal, and now McCauley ties it. And the Leafs come after Hackett again. Shot is deflected high over the glass and into the crowd up behind the Montreal goal.
Saving someone's life is like falling in love, as if you've saved your own life as well.
Newsweek magazine says bringing out the dead is high-risk filmmaking. You won't want to miss it. Blast off! Rolling Stone magazine says Nicolas Cage gives a blazing, unforgettable performance. Yeah! And Time magazine calls it truthful and uncompromising.
Man, you guys are good.
This is exactly what Martin Scorsese was put on Earth to do.
Are you okay? Never felt better in my life.
Bringing out the dead. Now playing everywhere.
Here at Energizer Laboratories, we compared the 2 most popular brands of battery. First, Energizer Advanced Formula. And then Duracell. Conclusion? Soup sure tastes better with Energizer Advanced Formula. Seriously.
With Fido, unused minutes from your monthly airtime package will now be carried over to the next month. It's like minutes in the bank. That's more than fair, and only from Fido. Days, nights, and weekends. Days, nights, and weekends. With Fido, you can use your airtime anytime you want. It's you and no one else who decides. That's more than fair.
McCauley's second goal of the year ties the game. Yuskevich got the assist. Came at 14:37. Just over 5 minutes now left in the first period. We're in a 1-1 tie. To center ice. Carpets have flipped it ahead. And they're offside at the Montreal blue line.
Well, Alan McCauley, who comes back from nearly 6 months off after that injury last year, goes to the net, gets in behind the Montreal defense, and gets 2 chances to score. And before Goran could get him out of there, the puck was in the net.
Again, a chance. Inside his own line with it. Comes back to him. Chance pass up the center. Linden flipped it to the corner. Comes in to help. Big bump on the boards. Didn't hurt Thornton at all. He's on the puck again. Now gets set to make the play. Hangs on to it. Thornton doing a good job. shoots it to the boards in the corner, comes out the other side, and Weinrich had to move up. Thornton again. He played it over in front, and Linden tried to shot. That was blocked easily. Thornton ran into carpet set. But Toronto was on it. And it's dumped in for Johnson. Johnson coming hard at the net. Went in a little bit too far. Kristich is with him. And on the puck, but loses it to Rachinsky. Now he comes. Nice play. Good enough for Montreal. And a chance dumped it in. Canadians are changing. 4 minutes left in the opening period. One more. Pass straight through center. Thomas. In there with Hoagland. Hoagland to Thomas. Hoagland! And he fanned on it. Just got the heel of the stick on it and missed the net. On the puck again, though. Leaving it for Thomas. Back to Hoagland. He lost it. And Montreal get out. 3 of them come up on 2 lead defensemen. They're stalled at the line. Far side. Not moving. Toronto back. Thomas tries to pick it up. There's going to be a penalty again to Montreal. As they touch the puck, the play has stopped. And the Leafs will go on the power play when we come back.
60 years ago, a little boy made of wood,
Here I am.
a clever cricket,
Jiminy Cricket.
and a toy maker who dared to dream.
The wishing star.
Taught us all that when you wish upon a star, dreams really can come true.
I'm a real boy.
Now you can relive the magic with your family. Walt Disney's animated classic Pinocchio is fully restored and ready for a new generation of dreamers.
This calls for a celebration.
Pinocchio. Own it Tuesday, October 26th on video and Disney DVD.
At the Corral Center in Ottawa this evening, Dominic Hasek gets the nod for Buffalo. There was some thought they'd stick with Martin Biron, but it's Hasek in goal. Nonetheless, 2 quick goals for the Sens has him on his heels again. First, Marian Hossa on the backhand, his 5th from Falcon Arvidsson, and then Sean McEachran from Jason York. 2-0, the Senators lead the Sabres.
Koivu is off for hooking. The power play last time had 2 shots. So now let's see how they do. Tied the game with 3:20 now left in the first period. 1-1. Savage and then McCauley. Beresin, back pass. A dandy. Kristich good ahead. The Montreal Canadiens will clear it out. Hit Kristich. Haverley. Up to Beresin. He was bumped. Here's Kristich going in. Shoots! And Hackett played him fine all the way. He had a decoy on the other side, and it looked like he was going to pass it off, but he made a good effort.
Kristich made a nice play here. A beautiful little pass by Beresin to give him. Now, Kristich wants the defenseman and the goalie to think he's going to pass him. And you can see the defenseman on the 2-on-1 rush got right in the passing lane. And Kristich may well have changed his mind when he saw that, but he couldn't fool Hackett. Hackett played the shooter. The defenseman played the potential pass receiver. It worked.
Good play by the Montreal defenseman and goaltender. Shot to the line. Stopped there though. Canadiens again skate out. Driven in hard. Bunkhouse. Leafs come back to pick it up in their own zone on the power play. 1:10 left in this power play for Toronto. Orlov had to try to take it on a skate. Couldn't control it. And again, the Canadiens with the puck in their own zone. The play is stopped. Chinsky fell and right on the puck and just would not move.
Now, Dmitry Kristich, who's had a couple of good opportunities to score tonight, 6 times has scored 25 or more. Twice he scored 30 or more. And last year he had 29 for the Boston Bruins and 29 the previous year. So there's no doubt about the fact that he knows where the net is. And I really think coming to the Toronto Maple Leafs, he's coming to a team that's loaded with Europeans and especially Russians who are really competitive guys. Markov, Yuskevich, and I think that will be a better fit for Kristich, who seems to have had trouble getting a fit in L.A. and in Boston.
Canadiens trying to kill this penalty. Cannot get the puck by Thomas. Thomas again. Trying to flip it ahead. It's scooped away to the line, and Montreal will move it out and down the ice. Marketsev is back there. forced to go back even further. Darby. Arrow now. Up the puck to the corner. Weinrich on it. Darby lifts it out and down the ice again. 25 seconds left in the penalty as Markov starts. Pass to Perreault. Waited for Thomas and then shot it in. Markov from the blue line. And it goes. Perreault gives it to him again. And he'll go back to Perreault if he can. He goes the other way. Now to Perreault. Back in front. Good passing by the Maple Leafs, but no shot on it. Coming up against Toronto. With 4 seconds left. The Koivu penalty. The Leafs now draw one here.
Hoagland's going to get it. I think it's Hoagland. Maybe it's Steve Thomas. It's for interference in the offensive zone as the Montreal player was knocked down while the Leafs had the power play. And Thomas will serve the penalty with 4 seconds left in Koivu. And here it is right here as he gets the stick between the legs of Dykhouse and hoists him off his feet. So Steve Thomas doesn't believe that he should get a penalty, but you know where he is anyway. So Montreal will have a power play for 1 minute and 26 seconds in Florida.
And the faceoff is just outside the Montreal line, as you see. Thomas is off. Tripping penalty called. Instruction style. There it is. And Montreal will move in on the power play now. Joseph had it go off the handle of a stick and it nearly got in on the short side. Canadiens on the boards with it. Kuczynski back again for Koivu to the line. No shot yet. The final minute now of this first period. Weinrich to the line. Weinrich again. Barrow set him up. But Barrow can't keep it in. It bounced by him. 45 seconds left in the period. He brings it up. Koivu gives it to him. Comes to the net. Shoots. Just missed. Joseph going down with some room to his right. But the puck was rifled wide of the net. Iskevich shoots it high. Crowd. Face-off, therefore, will come inside the Toronto line.
Mike Rivero is another one of the newcomers for Montreal. 5'11", 164. He burned the junior league up. The Quebec League, playing for Rouen Noranda, was a scoring machine in that league, and here's some highlights from his junior career. He has yet to get a point in the NHL, but he has taken Montreal and has become a bit of a darling in Montreal. Here's the Quebec Junior Hockey League All-Star Game, 12,000 at the Molson Center, and Rivero was the star of that one. So they're waiting for this guy to get a little offense going. 167 points last year, but he's finding this league a little more difficult, as might be expected.
Canadiens win the draw. They're still on the power play, remember. Final minute of the period. They're still outside, passing the puck around. Out of the net, coming in front. Oh, Joseph made a big step. Linden trying to drive it by him as he came out front, and Joseph made a stop. Might have been a goal for Linden. Big save by Curtis Joseph. Now Linden out to center, goes to the left side. Joseph doesn't have to stop this one from Darby. He didn't get through. Tries it again as the horn goes. Win the first period. The goals by Savage. His 10th. Cawley, the second. It's 1-1, and Don Cherry is standing by in the coach's corner. So after one period in Toronto, the Leafs won, the Habs won.
Looking for big names like Sony, Timex, Compaq, Panasonic, and more? Radio Shack's got everything you need to stay one step ahead. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
I love coming up here whenever I can. It always helps me remember what I have is important, especially when I share it with someone special.
There's a lot to be said for knowing where you stand. The new Canada Savings Bonds, with the original Canada Savings Bond and the new Canada Premium Bond. both with the security that keeps you on solid ground.
A message from the Government of Canada.
Jill, someone at the front for you. Dad, is everything all right?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Me? Yeah, no, I'm fine.
I want to take you to lunch.
Oh, I don't know, Dad, today.
Come on, we won't be long.
The warmth of home is at Tim Hortons. Enjoy your favorite Tim's Own sandwich with one of our hearty home-style soups, always made fresh and fast for you.
This was a good idea.
Yeah, it was.
Come home for lunch at Tim Hortons.
Coach's Corner with Don Cherry. Brought to you by Canadian Airlines, a proud member of One World.
Let's go easy with seat 3J. He's coming up a 6-hour meeting. Roger. We have initial head bob. Push back on my mark. And mark. Lights out. And we are go for tuck-in. Roger, tuck-in. And 3J is out. That's a wrap. Nice work, everybody. Moving to 4F.
Wonder what I was Brian Savage.
Yes.
Brian Savage, Sudbury boy. I'll tell you, boy, is he something. Leading the league, as we say. And Olin Nolan, we'll talk about him a little later. 8 out of the 10 top scorers in the National Hockey League right now are Canadians. 17 out of the 20 as the last that won the Stanley Cup. I will stop talking, and the top 2 goaltenders, I will stop saying about Canadians when I stop hearing skilled Europeans. I'll make a deal with all the media type. You stop saying how great the Europeans are, and I'll stop saying how great the Canadians are.
All right.
Good enough?
Good enough for me. Let's look at that goal, though. It's a good, hard-working effort all the same.
Oh, well, just an old plugger here like Ted. Watch this here. He kicks it up. Watch this here. Now, look at that. Is that skill? Now, if one of those there, like Sundin or somebody, or one of those cut your finger off or something did that, we'd hear how skilled they are. But it's a good Sudbury boy, just a hard plugger.
Did you want to mention that Ty Domi actually wanted to say hello to some youngsters in
Yes,
too,
and
so
I
let's
do
do that
too.
before we forget. Yeah.
Simon Jones from Aurora Tigers, having a tough time.
Brad Selwitz's coach, and they're having a little benefit game, I think November the 14th, but you can check it out in
From
Montreal.
Glace Bay, Chris Campbell having a tough time, and Ryan Johnson from Swan River. They're the Stampeders out there. Now, all these guys are having a tough time. They're really having a tough time, but I talked to Ty Domi before. He knows about you guys. He said, look, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. You know that? You guys keep going, eh? Don't you give up. Keep going.
Right. And I just want to echo, because, you know, you feel like your life's rocked, and obviously it is. A little challenge ahead. But I saw Aaron Moser this past week, and I saw Brad Horning this past week.
Remember Brad? We went out and saw him in the hospital, way out in the fields there somewhere.
Yeah, Regina. Well, I saw him in Regina at a function, and he's doing like $1 million bucks,
great.
graduated, got a great degree, and just pushing forward. So,
great.
kids, chin up. We're really thinking about you here tonight. Now, Ty Domi, of course, a little tilt there with Jim Cummins, and for his size, Ty did a great job.
They hate the fights, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, they hate the fights, don't they? In the stands, they're just saying,
well, they have
stop it, stop it.
All right, let's look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Here we are, just like your team lately. Hit the post. Picture of Don.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. That dog is 6 months old. Isn't he a beauty?
That's your baby
boy
Blue.
Baby boy Blue right there.
And this was, of course, to celebrate the fact you're the honorary
I don't know
chairman.
what I'm looking at there. What am I looking at? I don't know. Anyhow, yes, Mike Harris wants me to be the organ, transplant and donation and get your licenses out and sign them and that, and I'm the honorary chairman. I'm happy to do it. And it could happen to me. It could happen to you. So don't sit there and be chicken. Oh, I don't like talking about it.
Good for you. There's a fan at Bill Hunter Night in Saskatoon whose wife Cheryl just had a heart transplant and doing like $1 million bucks.
I'll tell you, well, Bill is good. You know, I have to admit something. That you have, for the last 3 years, been talking about San Jose. Even last year, you said they were going to win the Cup. And even when Olin Nolan was having those awful years, you said he's the best player in the league. I remember you saying that. And you know, when you think about it, he hits, he fights, I'm sorry to say, scores goals, and he sets up goals, And he is a complete hockey player. A guy that only scores goals, to me, is a DH in hockey. They're nothing. But this guy does everything. And he saves games. Now watch this here. Watch this here. We're going to show that little clip now. Watch, it's 2-1 now. Now watch it's coming up. Now watch him on the left-hand side as the guy goes to shoot. I hope we have it in the back. Yeah, this is it. Now watch his stick comes over and saves the game. Now watch when the goalie gets up. See, he saves the game. Let it go, please let it go. Let it go. Watch the goalie come over and give him a little tap. Hey. That's a hockey player. I love it.
Yeah, he is. Thorold, Ontario, and he is a beauty. It's great to see him get off.
And you were always, I have to admit, you're always in his corner.
Always liked him, yeah.
Now, I want to talk about the trade that we have with Dmitry Khrushchev. Khrushchev. You know, I'm a little baffled on this one. I have to tell you why. We let Stevie Sullivan go, eh? First of all, we have Khrushchev. Well, Toronto lets him go. Okay, I shouldn't say. I live in Toronto. I cheer for Toronto. You know that. Yeah. But here we go. He gets 29 goals, right? Mm-hmm. He's going to make over $2 million, right? And he pulls the parachute all the time in the playoffs. Everybody knows that. And this nonsense stuff that he doesn't get along in the dressing room, I don't go for that stuff. It was in L.A. Boston players tell me he was a good guy in the dressing room. That's it. He got 29 goals, makes $2 million. So we let a guy, and he died. That's it in the playoffs for him, and that's why Harry got rid of him. Meaningless goals. Anyhow, we let Stevie Sullivan go, right? Mm-hmm. 20 goals in 69 games and making $800,000, and he had 5 game winners, and he's gone. Now, you're telling me it makes any sense to me to let this kid go? And that's what I'm talking about. I don't understand. Harry tries to keep the line on these guys, and everybody's saying, oh, you look at the owners paying these guys and everything. As soon as the guy tries to keep the line, this is what happens.
In fairness, you and I were a little bit on Toronto Maple Leafs for the fact they raised ticket prices. They got the most expensive ticket in the National Hockey League, and it was almost like we were saying they should go out and spend some money. So they did that, cost Stevie Sullivan a shot at playing, so that's a different argument. But Toronto should be doing everything they can to try and...
I agree. I agree, too.
And don't you think, like Alexei Yashin last year in the playoffs, didn't get a goal, people will say, well, he didn't show up last year in the playoffs, but he had 20 shots in 4 games.
Well, no, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, I hate to see Stevie Sullivan go that got 20 goals, and he did it in 69 games, 5 game winners, and he's gone. This guy can put the puck in the net. Believe me, he's got nice hands. He's soft hands. He can put it in. And, you know, when he gets Sundin back, they'll have a little magic going. But wait a minute. I remember it in the headlines in the papers after Buffalo almost killed Stevie Thomas, broke his shoulder, and Berezon. Remember, they nailed him, and they ran him right over the building. Grit. Leafs need grit. Remember that? Yeah. Leafs need grit. Where's the grit?
Well, Ty Domi didn't do bad in the first period.
He's the only guy he's playing right now.
Great fight and a great goal.
Chris,
have one thing in common. They made both
wait a minute.
Happy.
Just a minute.
Yes, go ahead.
Chris, keep her going. Ryan, keep her going. And you guys keep her all the time. Simon, we're with you all the time. You guys keep it going and keep it up, and don't you quit.
Don Cherry in the Coach's Corner on Hockey Night in Canada.
Coach's Corner on CBC. Brought to you by Canadian Airlines, a proud member of One World.
Savage, Alan McCauley, the goal scorers. Montreal, Toronto deadlocked at 1 after 1. Now here's Dmitry Kristich and Scott Oak.
Dmitry, after missing a month of the season, how did your first period as a Toronto Maple Leaf feel?
I felt a little bit tired, but like a team, we played pretty even with Canadians, and I think that tie is a reflection of our game.
Lots of talk about your reputation with teams previous. Dmitry, do you feel under any pressure to dispel those rumors?
No, I don't think they were right, so I don't even care about them.
All right, Dmitry, thank you for your time. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Up to the minute. Brought to you by Ford. For now, forever.
If you got a problem, don't care what it is. If you need a hand, I can show you this. I can help. I got 2 strong arms. I can help. It will sure do me good to do you good. Let me help.
F-Series, Canada's best-selling line of trucks for 33 years. Ford, for now, forever.
Around the NHL, 11 games this evening. Ottawa's up 2-0 now at the first intermission in the Corel Center. Marian Hossa gets his 5th. For Sean McEachran wearing the C, that's his first of the year. Paul Correa has his third for Vancouver, and Brad May, it's great to see him going well, 2-1. Steve Correa said Paul. Steve, of course, scoring the goal for Vancouver. Atlanta leads 2-1 against Colorado. Damian Rhodes against Patrick Roy in that get-together. Calgary will be in Tampa coming off that overtime win. Calgary's now got 2 OT victories this year. Last night, Morris, Valerie Burry, the other overtime winner earlier in the year against the Canucks. Carolina, Pittsburgh, deadlocked at 0 in the first period. Edmonton's in Nashville tonight. We'll have that story on Scoreboard Saturday in the second intermission of game number 2. Detroit and Chicago. First period, nothing to report between the Red Wings and the Blackhawks, still looking for their first win. New Jersey Devils in St. Louis. That's in the first period at the Kiel Center. Washington's in Phoenix tonight. The Coyotes 5-1-2, along with Detroit, one of the hottest teams in the NHL. A reminder, in Game 2 tonight, the Blue Pickup Cup makes its debut in the first intermission. Boston and San Jose, Game 2 of the doubleheader, as we continue on Hockey Night in Canada.
Up to the minute. Brought to you by Ford. For now, forever.
Feed your people what they love. Pizza from Panagapolis.
Here's something to get you going. Banks. Are they ever open when you need them? You'd think they know you work for a living, so couldn't they stay open till, say, 6 or even 7? How about sharing some of those profits? Yeah, now that's a good one. Do they even know your name? Then why do you call them your bank? Maybe you should be looking elsewhere. Call today. They treat you like people.
Capital City Savings. We're more than a bank.
Hey, guys, missing your sweethearts? Call them, collect.
Collect calls cost a fortune in Canada. $5 for 5 minutes.
Now there's a new way to call collect in Canada that's 44% cheaper. Instead of dialing 0, you just dial 1-800, hi, it's me, and the number. And no contract to sign.
Hi, it's me.
And look at all the money you're saving.
1-800, hi, it's me.
It's the cheapest way to call collect.
Eyes on me. Okay, where were we?
Peanut butter.
All right then, from the top. Powdered jam sandwiches, pancakes, and ham, red radishes, heaven knows. Anything goes. How much and ice cream, 1 and 2%.
Excuse me, what do you mean homogenized?
Alberta's milk producers make a glass that's right for everyone. All right, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Heaven knows anything goes.
This portion of Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by the new Ford Focus wagon. Expect more.
Hi, I'm Alan McCauley. Catch the Blue Pickup Cup later tonight on Hockey Night in Canada.
The Blue Pickup Cup, brought to you by Labatt Blue.
Second period coming up with the Canadiens and the Maple Leafs tied at a goal each. And we'll show you what happened in the scoring plays. Savage and McCauley were the goal scorers.
And Savage got a picturesque goal as he scored from his knees. And McCauley on the second rebound put it in, and that's where we sit right now. 1-1, 39 seconds left in the penalty to Steve Thomas.
Savage got assists from Ruchinski and Weinrich for his goal, his 10th of the season. And McCauley, his 2nd of the season from Juszkiewicz. See the shots in the period, 10-8 Toronto. Canadiens on the power play to start the second. Karpatsev holding things up for just a moment, and now they'll start the second period. Koivu can't win it. Warner pulled it back from him. So the Canadiens have to come back. 20 seconds left in the power play for Montreal. They'll get up maybe one time, and here it is. Ruchinski. He fell though, but he tapped the puck back. Weinrich ahead to him on the boards. Comes right to Rivera, shot. Goes! Ribeiro coming in to grab the loose puck. And look at that, his very first goal in the National Hockey League. And he gives the Canadiens a 2-1 lead.
Well, I think he showed with that shot why he was such a good goal scorer in junior. He plays the point on the power play. Weinrich makes a nice play to keep the play alive. And here he goes. And you let that point man walk to the hash marks. And the goalie's got real troubles on his hands. And he had no chance, Joseph, on this one. As Karpatsev went down the block. And it may even have ticked Karpatsev and put it up over Joseph. It's Ribeiro's first NHL goal. And Captain Koivu gets the buck for him.
What a goal for your first in the league. Beauty. 2-1, Montreal. Harley just tossed the puck ahead for Toronto. And it's dumped in, wide of the net. Out comes Hackett to try to clear it away. Skavich came in and was bumped back down for Darby. He left it just inside the line. Linden's shot. Didn't work. Takes it again. Gets it back to the line. Dykhouse flipped it up the net, and it's knocked down in front of Joseph. And the Leafs pick it up and get out. Perreault headed ahead for Thomas. He didn't get too far. Thomas again with Perreault moving up to help him. Haberle has to stop it in front of Linden. The Canadiens are changing, and Yuskevich shoots it in. Tap wide of the net. Balt went in to try to pick it up. Could not. The Montreal Canadiens, Poulin gets out to center. Here Stevenson tried to cut inside. He was not permitted. Cross stayed with him all the way, and he's still there on top of him. Canadiens hold the puck. Long shot wide of the Leaf net. That corner bears him. Down the goal, it comes out near the line. And Toronto finally gets it back to center ice again. Orlov gets set right in there. Right in. And he can't get by Hackett. He walked right into the goalie. And Hackett made a big stop. Ribeiro power play goal. 2-1 Montreal.
Stop into Canadian Tire for everything you need to get your car back on track. Canadian Tire, still the right place to do it.
Chinsky and Weinrich assisted on the Ribeiro goal, his first in his career.
Orlov makes a nice play to get body position to give himself the 2-on-1. He wants to pass it, and then when he decides he's going to shoot it, he's in a little too far, and Hackett makes the save. A smart play by Eric Weinrich, the defense, who took the pass possibilities away.
Leafs win the draw. Hackett makes the save. Johnson centers it. Johnson again gets it out front. And Popov missed it at the side of the net. The Leafs cannot keep it in. It's bounced away to center ice. Markov was up there. Canadiens come back. This is pass off the boards to center ice, and nobody can move on it. Johnson tapped it back. Toronto move it up. As far as the Montreal line, Dykhouse was there, standing up at the line, and he cut off that pass. Dykhouse again. We're back right in front of the net with a pass. Dangerous pass. Again, cross in front of Hackett. Canadiens do get it up and down the ice. Hackett tried again. Ulanov waited too long, and then Weinrich was bumped. Ulanov once again. This time, smartly to Ruchinsky through center. Canadiens try to move in. That's Linden. On the boards, left it. Fired in deep by Weinrich. Skavich had his man covered. Other side. Long shot by Gurin. That's deflected away. And the Leafs to center in. Collie again. Wrapped it back in front. Kind of a blind pass. And allows Montreal to get the other way quickly. Darby. Weak shot. Big rebound though. Thornton on it. Haberle watching him. Toronto will clear it. Skavich's pass out over the line. Domi was up there with Warner, but nobody could get it to him. Warren was stopped. Aberlay takes over, and that's icing against Montreal.
Well, the Montreal Canadiens have had a tough time scoring. Last year, they only scored 184 goals. The first time since 1953-54 under 200. This year, until they've scored 20 goals in 10 games, or almost 10 games, which isn't enough. Four Montreal forwards have over 1 goal. 2 have 2 goals, and of course, the high scorer, Savage, has got 10. So Alain Vigneault's scoring is not spread out at all, as Savage has got half the goals.
Power play goal here in the second period by Ribeiro. First in the National Hockey League, Ruchinski and Weinrich assisted on the goal. Right at the end of the penalty, really, against Steve Thomas. 2-1 Montreal. Canadiens Poulin, standing in front of his net. Cleared it quickly. Poulin comes up to pick it up and turn, and the shot was blocked. Release, come back out. Pass got by Perrault, and comes this way. Aberlay turned, and he couldn't get it through, so Poulin down. Poulin coming in for Montreal. The shot, and another one, stopped by Joseph. 2 stops by Joseph, and the Toronto Maple Leafs try and clear it against Yuskevich. Aberlay takes a look. Side, he's going to move it over in front of the net where Yuskevich was open, and he couldn't move it out. Now it's slapped down the ice, and that's going to be icing. I'm sure Hackett stayed right there. Hayden's back to touch it, and the face-off will come to the left of this man.
Well, Montreal has not been an easy opponent for Curtis Joseph. 5 wins, 10 losses, and a tie against him in his career. But he makes a nice stop on the Montreal player, Poulin, but gave up a juicy rebound. In the last 2 outings, Curtis Joseph has not been as spectacular as he is most nights. And handled that one a little awkwardly, to tell you the truth. He had to make a big save on a rebound that he shouldn't have given up.
Leafs win the draw and go behind the net. Arvidsson pass to Johnson. He got it through the middle. Andropov played it to the far side, and Johnson got in front of the net. And here's Andropov again. Andropov caught in the corner. Canadiens can't pick it up. Johnson does around the net. Tried to stuff it in. Hackett was waiting for that and blocked it off. Short side. Cummins in to watch him. Cummins heads off. Canadiens change. House on the boards, cleared it ahead. And Montreal will move in. Ribeiro lost it near the line and back for Toronto. Nick Antipov on the brakes, waits patiently, and then the pass is deflected away by Koivu. Koivu for Canadiens. Through center, Savage dropped it beautifully. The shot by Dykhouse is off a leg and wide. Luczynski on it, though, behind the net. Koivu comes in to help. Koivu circles and gets it back to the other side. Savage! The shot high. And Savage was bumped hard. He is headed off. Harrison forechecking for Toronto. Koivu. Again, Koivu. Harrison on top of him. 2-on Montreal, nearing 7 minutes of play in the second period. Ulanov. Korolev chased him. Ruchinski will skate away and drop it back. Again, Ulanov. Leafs finally pick it off, get it to the line. Korolev had to slide it back in his own zone. The Canadiens are changing. Toronto Maple Leafs get the puck up the vault. He stopped right away. Thornton back in with Trevor Linden. That pass is deflected away from Linden. Linden puck just outside the line. Hit hard by Andrewson. There's in the ball. Markov is there also. Korolev had to flip it back deep in his own zone. Now Korolev from Markov, didn't move it. Finally, the Leafs get the line and up and down the ice. And another icing call coming against Toronto. Nearing 8 minutes of play in the second. The Canadiens are up by 1 goal.
Kokanee, brewed in the shadow of the Kokanee Glacier, has taken on peculiar glacial-like qualities. Qualities such as creeping, a naturally occurring movement of the glacier. And while we can't explain exactly why this is happening, we do know it is the liquid itself that shares this characteristic. To stop its action, simply place a heavy object in its path. Although these new properties are curious, Kokanee is a beer. Please use as such. Glacier fresh-tasting Kokanee. It's the beer out here.
Frogs do not have the active response system. And it shows. Alero with the active response system. 16 features working together to connect you to the road. Frog without the active response system. Alero with the active response system. Alero by Oldsmobile. Start something.
The new Mastercraft. It's tough stuff.
Again, it's a Saturday night, and it's a doubleheader on Saturday night. Of course, Boston and San Jose coming up in part 2, and you'll see our first Blue Pickup Cup game. Team Joseph against Team Draper. That's in our second game tonight. Canadians are forcing the play right in front. And out comes the goalie, and the penalty was called against the Maple Leafs. Canadians will go on the power play again when we come back.
A revolutionary new engine. A revolutionary new space. A revolutionary new car. Introducing the Toyota Echo. Find out what all the noise is about.
Igor Korolev in his own zone with the hook. Watch.
Well, he lost the Montreal player and got them all tangled up with the hook. Nice play by Joseph, I'll tell you that, to poke check the puck there with 3-1.
Long shot from the blue line. Stop. Canadians keep it in. Savage. He has 1 goal tonight. Now out there on a power play is Brian Savage. Quick pass behind the goal. Koivu comes out. The pass gets all the way to the line. Ribeiro up there again. Showing lots of patience with it. Pulled it away from Perreault. Nice pass to the side of the goal again. Canadians outside. Centered. Quick shot. Knocked down. Montreal Savage fell to his knees. Koivu went over in a hurry. And he fell, but got back up fast. Koivu back to the line. Weinrich to the other side. Good passing by the Canadians on this power play setup. They're ahead 2-1 and in control right here. But now Hoagland got in front of that pass and cleared it. 55 seconds gone in the penalty. Chikora. Montreal looking sharp. Pass stopped at center. Ribeiro had to back up and try it again. Gives it to Weinrich. Go back to the rookie. Ribeiro with a power play goal to give his team the lead here in the second. And it's shot in there by Montreal. There's Warner. He was there fast and cleared it right to Hackett. Penalty time, 35 seconds. Weinrich coming up. Flipped it in there, and Joseph stopped it. Again, Hackett leaves the net. Weinrich, only 20 seconds left on this Montreal power play. They've handled the puck well, but not many shots. Inman this time. He's caught. But he fights for it. Lost it again. And the Leafs cleared out and down the ice. They'll kill the penalty off. Korolev is ready to come back on. There he is on the ice. So they kill it off. Korolev tries to steal it. The Bears in, poking it ahead. Dykehouse out for Canadians. That'll be Karpatsev getting it up. Lead puck to Johnson. He was behind everybody. Scoots in to pick it up behind the goal. Knocked in on the boards, behind the net, and out to the line. Long shot stopped in front. Hackett stopped. Johnson is and Hackett was hurt again.
Well, it looked to me like Korolev knew the puck was under Hackett, and Hackett didn't know, and he kind of shoveled it out, and Korolev was attacked. Remember, about a week ago or more, Korolev got hit in the face with a puck shot off the stick of Brian Berard and fractured his sinus bone. And he may have been hit there again. But let's have a look. Hackett thought he had it covered. Here's the shot from Anderson, tipped by Johnson. Here comes Korolev, 22. And he can see that the puck is loose under Hackett, and he kind of pitchforks it out and puts it in. And Montreal's complaining, but the referee is going to tell him that Hackett never had the puck, even though he thought he had it. So there was no whistle, and if the puck's in the crease, you have every right to go in and put it in the net. You got to wonder whether last year this would have counted. But let's have a look from the net cam at if we can see the loose puck. Now Hackett thinks he's got it, but he doesn't realize that he does not have it under his pads or under his glove. And Korolev must have seen that puck sitting there, and he just pried it loose and shoveled it into the net. And Hackett's upset, and I don't think completely healthy.
Andrew Sack gets an assist on that goal by Korolev. Johnson the other assist. 10-12 is the time of the goal. And the game is tied again at 2. And the Montreal coaches do not like the way things shaped up that time. But there's the goal scorer, Igor Korolev. Tie game, 2-2. Andrew Sack is back fast, picks him up on the boards. Canadians piling after it. They do not get it out. Long shot is stopped by Joseph. Koivu bumped off the puck. And Rapov tried to get it back to the line. Right back anyway with a long shot to Joseph. Stop that. Kristich slips a high one away. Icing coming up against Toronto. Korolev's goal ties the game again. It's 2-2.
Only me can make all this world seem right. Only me can make the darkness bright.
All I want to be remembered for is, here's a man who tried to create something. I really don't know what else there is to life but that, you know?
You should do what's heartfelt, which is necessary to recapture what's traditional.
If you think you know what you're doing, you're getting more limited. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that I'm really driven to do it.
Albertans have taught us that each and every person is unique.
I spent 27 years here. I guess if you've been here that long, maybe you do become a bit of a legacy. I don't know.
As TELUS grows across Canada, we will remember that everyone is an original. So go ahead, sing your own song.
I keep thinking if I drive real slow, and I take a lot of back roads, maybe I can hold on to my daughter just a little bit longer.
A young girl's encounter with two restless spirits becomes a turning point in her life. The Canadian premiere of Dead Aviators, Sunday at 8 on CBC.
It's a 2-2 tie. Here in the second period now, just past the halfway mark. Montreal on the puck inside the Leaf line. But it's Thomas picking it up. And Thomas gets down the right side, trying to chase up to it. Dykehouse skates in front of him. Thomas still there. They can't find it. Montreal will get it out. Even though Darby took a hard hit after he cleared it. Oakland's pass was good. Thomas over the line. Thomas turns back from the open. Here's Thomas. Thomas really went for that open spot, and he did get a good scoring chance. Just missed.
Steve Thomas has not scored a goal this year, although he has 7 assists. He's only been held pointless in 2 of the 9 games the Leafs have played, and he nearly got his first goal of this season on this shot from one of his favorite spots between the circles, and it's just a little wide. Hackett's still fuming that that goal counted. He thought he had it held. And here's a replay of Korolev's goal, and Korolev digs it out from underneath Hackett and puts it in. And Hackett is very upset. The referee's explaining it to him, and that's exactly what Hackett thinks of the explanation.
Ribeiro at 24 seconds of this period from Rochinski and Weinrich. Now Korolev at 12 from Johnson and Andrusak. 2-2 the score. Weinrich with the puck for Montreal. Got away from a hit. Stevenson on the boards. Takes a hit and pushed it ahead. Stevenson comes in. Pass right in front of the net. Poulin had to reach for it and then was covered. Paulie was close to him. Down the ice again, and Weinrich comes back. Takes lots of time to get his mates lined up. The side to the left side looks better. No chance. Hopefully they hit too far for Poulin. And the Leafs pick it up and get it to the line again. Warner, though, overskated the puck. Poulin the other way. Dropped it. McCauley got that one. And Dumby gave it away. So they take turns. Finally, Montreal will shoot it in, and they'll get a chance to change it up. 7:40 left in the period. 2 tie. Domi fair now the first time. Second time was okay. He lets the puck in. And the Canadiens turn it back. Eichhaus lost it. Koivu picked it up. Rochinski couldn't move. Ulanov had to turn around. To Eichhaus. Back to Ulanov. Up through center. Doesn't work. Andrew Sack for the Leafs. Has to come back in a hurry. But the Canadiens coming in after it. And it's called. We have this update now. Again from Ottawa.
Correct, Bob. 2-0 when last we checked. The Senators leading the Buffalo Sabres. They make it 3-zip. A little battle for the puck. Patrick Traverse or Marian Hossa. Naturally, Hossa takes it and beats Dominic Hasek. That's his second goal of the game, 6th on the season. Van Allen and Traverse had the assist, and then moments later, Steve Martin's on a pretty setup by Andre Roy. Vinny Prosper the other assist. Tough night for the Sabres in Ottawa.
Well, Alain Vigneault's team has had trouble in the second periods of this season. They've been outscored 12-6 in the second periods, and half of the goals they've given up have come against them in the second period.
7:05 left in the second period now. Canadiens and the Maple Leafs. Tie. Long pass. Here we come, an offside play again. Savage had to reach up high, try and knock it down with his glove, and missed it, and he was in.
Bob Murray, the general manager of the Chicago Blackhawks, is here. His team picked up Steve Sullivan on waivers this afternoon. Sullivan could not get to Chicago in time to play their game tonight, and he'll go to Montreal to start his Blackhawk career Wednesday. Anyone who knows Steve Sullivan wishes him nothing but the best of luck with his new team. Pat Quinn's team has tied this one up with 6:54 to go in the second period.
That's gets through center. Canadiens had to try the second time. Darby stopped, flipped it on the board zone. Karpatsev shot it back out. Antropov just lifts the puck in. On the next Thornton. In Weinrich. They do not get it out, but now it's fired down the ice. No icing this time. They wave it off right away. Karpatsev. Back there with Cross. Karpatsev was caught. Now gives it to Cross as he recovered. And Johnson shot it through center and inside the Canadian line. Johnson again. Antropov. Take it back in. Christian's trying to go in. Fell. 5:50 left to play in the second. Johnson up there. Carroll back to Johnson. Right to the net. Hackett stopped it. Thornton does not clear it. But it's pushed away out over the line. And there goes Stevenson. Stevenson got it in there and was tied up by Coverley. He made a good move on Big Stevenson. Now the Leafs open it up. Good play by Thomas. He nearly went in offside. Quick back pass. Nearly worked. Fired down the ice by Ulanov. Out of the net is Joseph to play it. Saw Thomas come in on the boards. And again, Thomas made a good pass. So did Hoagland. He gets in. Hoagland centered it. Beautiful play. But no shot on the goal. Boy, they've made some dandy passes. And no shot on Hackett. Canadiens the other way. Koivu paid it back in front. Now she's opened up. And here come the Leafs again. Down the center. They get it over the line, and Thomas had to put the brakes on. Centered it. Perreault lost it on a skate. And Montreal will go the other way. This is great hockey now. Savage on the outside. Savage trying to cut in. And they drape him in on the board. Here's Koivu. Bell. Backhander away. There's going to be a penalty for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Wow, that's a bit of action for you in a 2-2 tie. And a power play for Montreal when we're back.
Kokanee, brewed in the shadow of the Kokanee Glacier, has begun to take on peculiar glacial-like qualities, such as tacking, the ability to fuse objects together through a quickened freezing process. This can make situations like work, dating, and even left field very uncomfortable. We apologize for any inconvenience. Glacier Fresh Tasting Kokanee, it's the beer out.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty. The new Silverado interior is so big, there's plenty of room for seating. And, in a pinch... Mommy said I could ride the pony. Ample room for sleeping. Introducing Silverado, the truck from Chevrolet.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you in part by Chevrolet. Chevrolet, tried, tested, and true.
It was Ty Domi who drew the penalty, and you see it was for tripping.
Nice play by Andrusuk, who took Savage's speedster to the outside and wouldn't let him get to the corner. And in front of the net, right here, Saku Koivu was hauled down by Domi, and the Montreal Canadiens have a power play.
They have a power play goal. Remember, at the very beginning of the second period, Ribeiro scored his first of his career in the league at 24 seconds. So he'll be on again. He's number 71, and he's parked at the blue line now. Savage, Koivu, and Ruchinski. Weinrich, the other defenseman, or the only defenseman, we should say. And here he is with the puck. Weinrich poked it ahead. Montreal moving up. Outside again. Long shot deflected away by the stick of Curtis Joseph. And Volk is going to kill some time now and flip it inside the line. Orlov comes in after it. Weinrich saw him come. Weinrich against Volk now. These penalty killers in deep, but they'll have to turn and come back. Volk is headed off for a change. Here's Korolev coming in. Made the big circle. Allowing Montreal to bring it up. Koivu gets to the line. Good move there. Koivu comes in, and no shot. Almost ran on it. Just barely moved it ahead. Kept in there by Ribeiro. Play at the line. Kuczynski bumped. And the Leafs do not get it by Ribeiro again. Comes in quickly along the boards. Squirts by him and Johnson. One-on-one. Johnson coming up. Cutting in, and the shot is blocked by Weinrich, the only man back. And Ribeiro was back to take one on the shins. Penalty time, 50 seconds left. Kuczynski, center, shoots it in. That's the Leaf defenseman. But Yuskevich couldn't get it out. House to pass. Shot in around the net. Darby comes in. Darby is stopped on the boards, and the Maple Leafs do a good job on the Canadiens now. Perreault it in, and Perreault got over in front, but the pass was intercepted. And Montreal on the attack. Quickly shot. Joseph out with the right pad. Only 15 seconds left of the penalty to tie Domi, and two teams are getting chances here. Power play and shorthanded. The Leafs shorthanded had one good chance. Knocked down the ice again. That's Hoagland up there, causing some trouble. Richter turned. Richter again. Got it off the boards, but the Leafs easily pick it off. As do the Canadiens at their own line. Stevenson stops. Weak shot. Antropov. They did ahead on the boards. Toronto moving up. Brisket shoots it right on Hackett, and he hangs on to it. Make sure that play is dead. Still tied at 2.
Coming up in the second intermission, John Davidson, Al Strachan, and Brian Hayward joins us from Anaheim to discuss some of the high-profile names still missing in action.
Mike Ribeiro made a great play to score his first NHL goal. He's the center who plays the point on the power play. And every once in a while, you have to play defense if you're the point man. And here's a 2-on-1 rush that he intercepts the pass with the shaft of his stick. And Yannick Perreault would have been in all alone if that pass had got by Ribeiro's stick.
2:23 left of the period. A shot around the net. Comes out front. Good try by Kristich, but it was on a very sharp angle, and Hackett was on the post. Antropov back. Tried to poke it around his own net and did. Kristich, though, is racing up for it. He might get there. Kristich does get there. A good hustle by Kristich. There he is, tapping it back out front. Falling on the play. Savage nearly knocked it in his own net. I'll make that Higgins, who took a swipe at it and nearly beat Hackett. He just missed the post. Cross coming back. Leaves it for Berezin. Canadiens were changing. Berezin, though, got to go himself. And he's going. Shot. Rebound! Berezin. 3-2 Toronto. Oh, baby.
The second highlight reel goal we've seen tonight. Savage's was a thing of beauty. Berezin picked the puck up and was headed back the wrong way into his own end. Then he wheels. Montreal's changing. That gives him a little fresh ice. And then he just turns on the afterburners. Hackett should never have let that kind of a rebound out on a shot from just inside the blue line. But the puck was rolling. He couldn't control it. No defenseman took Berezin after the shot, and he put it in.
There's Rochinski now for Montreal, trying to center it through the crease. Toronto moving up. Ball, quick pass to Berezin. Berezin can't handle it this time. Ball trying to return the pass to Berezin, but this time Hackett holds it and hangs on to it. What a rush by Berezin. End to end. Got a great shot away. Grabbed the rebound. And the goal.
He leads the National Hockey League in shots. And here is one of the longest rushes of his career. He got it at the dot in his own end. He's going to shoot the puck at the blue line. Eric Weinrich does not take him. Lets him walk by him, and the rebound is right there. And Berezin puts the Leafs ahead with a spectacular solo effort.
And Curtis Joseph draws the only assist on the goal. He just tapped it away. Last one to touch it until Berezin took it and got flying.
Berezin got a bit of a break, Bob. Montreal were changing on the fly. That gave him about 40 unchallenged feet to get to the blue line. And then you saw the rest. Shot, a rebound, a goal.
Dykehouse trying to get the puck out. He does. Poking it on the boards. Canadiens move it up. Pass to Thornton. Shot it into the corner. Comes over on the far side of Linden. And the puck bounced back to Linden again. Second time to Linden. He can't keep it in this time. And Dykehouse is back. 30 seconds left in the period. Perreault coming back in his own zone. with Yuskevich. Just threw it up to center ice. Aberle goes back, 20 seconds left. Barely got the puck out. The Canadiens again were changing, and now they are offside with 15 seconds left in the second period.
I had my first cigarette when I was 13. When I found out how bad it was, I tried to quit. But I couldn't. They say nicotine isn't addictive. How can they say that?
A message from the Government of Canada.
Toronto is leading for the first time in the game. And that goal by Berezin. 3-2. 5 seconds left in the period. Montreal, Koivu trying to move out. He won't get too far. The horn goes. The end of the second period. A little brief mix-up at the end of the period. The linesmen were in very fast.
Antropov took a cross-check Koivu into the boards in front of the bench. Koivu had enough and came back with a stick on Antropov, and here's what developed. As Leafs came to the rescue of their rookie, big number 9, and Montreal didn't appreciate what Antropov did to the captain of the Montreal Canadiens, and here's the play right here. Now the period's over, and you can see Antropov gave Koivu the stick, and then Koivu returned the favor, and then we had this melee. We'll have to wait to see whether the referees are giving any penalties. It's hard to imagine there won't be one each, one to young Antropov and one to the captain, Koivu.
Shots now are 19-16 for Toronto over 2 periods. And Toronto in the lead, 3-2.
The Burger family's back at A&W.
That's excellent news.
They got great tasting burgers. Mama Burger, Papa Burger.
That Grandpa Burger with the 3 patties, just great.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, that's the one. Baby Burger. Oh, there he is. Could you make it real? Can I get a bite now? Is there a Brother Burger? It has lettuce, tomato, bacon, cheese. Just delicious. Juicy and delicious. Teen Burger. Teen Burger, yeah. I think we've got to go eat now. The Burger family's back at A&W.
Leafs one up on the Canadiens after 2 periods here at the Air Canada Centre. Here is Mike Ribeiro, got his first goal as a professional tonight after scoring 67 in junior last year. Mike, how will you recall that one?
Good, feeling's good now. I feel good now, and it's just my first one, but it's me to work out hard and try to get my chance and see what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, speaking of what's going to happen, this is your 8th game as a professional with the Montreal Canadiens. They've got to make a decision on you after 9 as to whether or not they'll send you back to junior. What do you think might happen? What do you hope will happen?
I don't know what's going to happen, but I hope I stay with the team and try to help the team. But it's that game and one more, so it's in my hands, and it's me to work hard and try to stay with the team.
Thank you, Mike. Good luck in the next period.
Thank you.
Mike Ribeiro of the Montreal Canadiens. The satellite hot stove is coming up next here at the Air Canada Centre. The Leafs lead the Canadiens by 1. Mike Ribeiro hopes his NHL career is off and running.
Now with extra value packages that let you add all the hardware and software you want. So why surf when you can drive?
I don't know. The more I make, the more the tax man takes.
Well, face it, Paul. You can't get rich because your investment income is too high. So we figured out a plan to help you make less.
Thanks a lot, I think.
Every day we help more Canadians make the most of their money. Investors Group. Solutions built around you.
She sings.
Sports select, because in life there's sports, and then there's all that other stuff.
Al Strachan's with me at Air Canada Center. Brian Hayward's in California. John Davidson in New York. Two teams are looking for their first win, Boston and the Chicago Blackhawks. Brian, you just saw the Hawks. What's your sense of their situation?
Well, I think they're in a world of hurt right now, Ron. In fact, I talked to 3 scouts in the press box from other teams around the NHL. They all said that this organization is in deep, deep trouble. The philosophy in Chicago was to bring in some veterans like Doug Gilmour to teach the young kids how to win, but the team's so bad they're never going to win no matter what kind of leadership they get. They got a huge problem right now back of the blue line. Everyone else, especially in the Western Conference, is starting to move towards speed. The Blackhawks don't have a defenseman who can lug the puck out of their own end because we all know that Boris Mironov remains unsigned. It sounds like they're a ways apart at this point, but without Mironov, who plays about 28 minutes a game, it means they have to insert slower defensemen in the lineup, and Jocelyn Thibault is going to have to be great just for that team to be competitive.
Anders Eriksson's not doing it?
You know what? Anders Eriksson is a functional defenseman, but he's not a dynamic offensive defenseman. And every other team in the conference has somebody who can quarterback the power play and, more importantly, get the puck skated out of the zone to make that headman pass. And right now, I don't think Anders Eriksson is that kind of player.
Guys, what happened to Chicago? This is a team on Lorne Mulliken last season, even though it was the end of the season. They finished very strong. Their training camp, as we all know, was a mess as far as watching from the outside with the amount of fighting they did and everything. They started the season playing pretty well in Game 1 in San Jose, took a bunch of penalties, and then got throttled 7-1 and haven't recovered.
Yeah, I don't know what the reason is, J.D. Why I honestly can't figure out why they finished strong last year, because I look at the personnel, and again, I look at where everyone else is going, and that's in the direction of speed, and they don't have any.
They finished strong because they had such a bad start under Dirk Graham, and I think it was a breath of fresh air to see Mulliken come in there and the guys really played hard, but then they had the wrong focus in training camp, and you know someone is going to pay the price for it. And Bob Murray, the GM, is telling his friends around the league he thinks he's going to be the one. The whisper in the summer was that Murray had one more year. If he didn't do it this year, he was going to be gone. Well, he may not even last this year. And the word is that Mike Smith, the former Toronto Maple Leafs general manager, who has always been a very close friend of Bill Wirtz's and an integral part of that Chicago organization, he was the one who did all the scouting on the Jamnov trade, will probably be going in there if Murray goes. The players themselves are expecting a big shakeup. They say that Murray is going to try and save himself with a blockbuster trade, and of course that would have to be.
But they did that
Jamnov.
last year. Strack, they did that last year with Edmonton.
Yeah, but so.
Well, but speaking of Edmonton, John,
I mean, you know, he did the trade, but he can't get Mironov in the lineup now.
Yeah. What's the status of Billy Guerin?
I talked to him today, actually. He said he hasn't talked to, or at least his camp has not talked to the Glen Sather Edmonton camp for 2 weeks. He's been skating quite a bit up in the Michigan area with a U.S. national junior team in that group. Frankly, he's just waiting for something to happen. And he said it's been 2 weeks, no talk. He doesn't know if there's going to be a trade or what.
Still lots of big names not in action. We'll address that when we come back with Brian, John, and Al after this.
Satellite Hot Stove, brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevrolet, tried, tested, and true.
Here you go, boys. Want a raise? Oh, too rich for me.
Call. A couple of things to remember. 1, a full house always beats 3 of a kind. And 2, the new Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any pickup. Chevy Silverado. It's the truck.
Shut up.
Carolina's looking pretty good. Any word on Keith Primo?
They're getting a lot of offers for him, but Jimmy Rutherford, the general manager, doesn't really want to trade him. He'd prefer to sign him if he can, if they can come to terms, but they can't at the moment. But they have been talking, and interestingly enough, there was a story out of Philadelphia which has some truth to it, I guess, that the Flyers have approached Carolina about getting him. And in the conversation, I guess, at some point, Eric Lindros's name came up. Now, it's not fair to say that they talked about a trade. That would be taking it too far. But the names came up, so it's interesting to point out that Lindros apparently is still available, as he was last year, and which made him very unhappy.
Right, he's made no bones about that. John or Brian, do you think Eric Lindros is on the block, and do you think that Dominik Hasek is on his way out of Buffalo and might end up in Philadelphia?
No, I don't. I think Dominik Hasek will be just fine in Buffalo for this season. He's having a slow start, but that does happen. As far as Lindros goes, you often wonder how the communication goes between the Lindros and his camp and the Bobby Clark and the ownership of the Flyers camp. They did have a couple of meetings in preseason. They're starting to roll right now. They're starting to win. If they get Brind'Amour back, who won't be back till probably mid-December, Jones is a couple of weeks away. That team's going to be a pretty good hockey club, guys.
I don't think anyone's going anywhere as far as those two players are concerned.
Well, you know, they mumbled a little bit about Messier and his dad and the trouble they ran into with the administration at the Rangers. And now, of course, Carl and Eric and
yeah, but Mark was a complete free agent when he left. You know, when these players get into their last years of contracts, it becomes a big poker game. If you think about a good guy like Ray Shepherd not playing right now, last year he turned down a 2-year extension at $1.7 per year. That's $3.4 million. Mark Tenorti, another big, tough, really good person, good hockey player, he turned down a 3-year extension, from what I understand, at $3 million per year. Now these guys are out of work right now. When these players get into their last years of contracts and they're offered extensions, this poker game is pretty important. You got to play your cards really smart.
No, I think the problem with Tenorti, you were talking earlier about how the league is going towards faster defensemen, and Mark isn't that fast anymore because he's had too many broken bones in his lower extremities. But the guy that I'm curious about is Pat Verbeek. Apparently he is getting the occasional offer. Now, this guy's got a Stanley Cup ring. He could help a team that's near the top, and that's what he wants to do. He's getting offers from the teams near the bottom, and that's not what he wants to do. But I would think that for a team like Toronto that says they're filling in some of the holes and want to make a serious run at it, a quality third-line player like Verbeek, who can do a lot of things for you, would be a big help.
Really, didn't they offer him a deal earlier?
Apparently not the Leafs, no.
The Oilers are supposed to be interested in Ray Shepherd, too, but haven't made an offer to Shepherd as of this moment. Brian, we're getting a little tight for time, but you wanted to echo remarks about that whole situation.
Well, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the unrestricted guys. This generation of unrestricted is facing, I think, a whole new attitude from general managers around the league. They looked at a Doug Gilmour and a Ron Francis, the GMs, and they don't want to offer any more what they term retirement contracts. And as a result, Verbeek, Kirk Muller, Mark Tenorti, these players are having difficulty getting deals, and certainly any kind of deal that's more than a 2-year term.
All right, last word. Trevor Linn's getting a lot of heat. Al, you sort of predicted that last year, so there's no sense getting on it, but you thought it was Ray Jean was going to pay for paying him too much.
That's the word in Montreal. The Reggie's in trouble because of it, and it's a shame because Trevor's been a great player over the years, but he's not producing now, and the first-round draft pick was too much, and the contract that he got was too much, and the fans are mad, even though the money's not coming out of their pocket.
JD? Trevor Linden's a good guy. I hope he turns it around. Eric Brewer's a defenseman playing for the Islanders, was sent to the minors recently to work on his game. He's a young player. Trevor Linden used to play with the Islanders. Of course, he's in Montreal. He picked up the phone, called Eric in the minors, and expressed his views on how he should try to improve himself, get along with coaches, and work hard. I thought it was a very classy thing for Trevor to do.
He's a classy guy.
Yeah, not atypical. Brian, thanks a lot for joining us this week, and to Al and John, as always. We learned 2 years ago on this show that a new brewer might be a good thing, so wish Eric all the best down in Long Island.
Nothing wrong with brewers.
Satellite Hot Stove, brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevrolet, tried, tested, and true.
So, Wayne, you're retired. What's next for the Great One?
I'm thinking about wrestling.
Wrestling? Wrestling? Well, who'd have thunk it? Hey, Great One. Uh-oh. Now there's a bicep. Has Wayne seen that? Come here. Here comes trouble. Hi, Wayne.
Hey, Brett.
How do you like your retirement?
Do you want points? Want to win a Durango? Got an SO Extra card? So use it. Now you can win and earn at SO. Swipe the card, win, and earn.
Extra value packages that let you add all the hardware and software you want. So why surf when you can drive?
Some big wheels that just rolled into Canadian Tire. Names like Michelin, Goodyear, Uniroyal.
Goodrich. Whether they're for your light truck or car, you need them, we got them. Roll into Canadian Tire before October 30th and you can roll out paying no GST on any of our tires in stock. Because nobody but Canadian Tire can bring the biggest brand names in tires down to our lowest prices guaranteed. After all, we are Canadian Tire.
Canadian Tire, still the right place.
A young girl's encounter with two restless spirits becomes a turning point in her life.
It's not how you feel that makes you brave, little girl. It's what you do.
A movie that weaves magic and adventure. Dead Aviators, Sunday at 8 on CBC. Closed captioning of this program is brought to you in part by It's a Canadian Thing in 151 countries. Canadian Club.
For the record, Don Cherry hated the goal by Korolev that tied it, and I didn't think much of the call either. And I don't know how he's going to expand on that after the game, but that's his job, and we'll discuss that a little later. Right now, the Boston Bruins, San Jose for more. Here's Scott and Kelly.
Thanks very much, Ron. You know, they never forget a good goalie here. Kelly and I walked into the building. They said, welcome back, 32, in reference to you. Mike Vernon's had a good run here. Now it's Steve Shields.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by his real strong play. He had four outstanding years at the University of Michigan. He had 111 wins and only 25 losses there. The thing is, he never gives up on the puck, and he works extremely hard in practice. I think also that he's learned from two masters. He had Dominik Hasek, and now here Mike Vernon, so he's obviously taking his lessons well.
Take a look at the week that Steve Shields had. 3 wins, no losses, 0.83 goals against, and of course he was the National Hockey League's Player of the Week. John Graham will get the start for the Boston Bruins tonight as they look for their first win against the San Jose Sharks. So it's the Bruins and the Sharks as the second game of the doubleheader. And also in our first intermission, we debut the Blue Pickup Cup. It's Team Joseph versus Team Draper for some shining shinny. That's in the second game of Hockey Night in Canada from here in San Jose.
Now with extra value packages that let you add all the hardware and software you want. So why surf when you can drive?
This winter, the standard in ice tire technology is Michelin Arctic Alpine. Its unique tread pattern bites the ice and channels away snow, giving you more contact with the road, which means greater traction on ice. And if it's good on ice, it'll get you anywhere in winter. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Feed your people what they love. One of our family value meals from Annagopolis.
Come into the Home Depot, you get the same low price every single day. My job is making sure stock's put away, making sure price tags are up, and making sure customers are served. So whether you're a contractor or whether you're the guy down the street that's just coming in for a light bulb, you're guaranteed the low price in town. If you find the same item elsewhere at a lower price, we will match that price and give you an additional 10% off. This low price guarantee is effective throughout the store. Our goal at the Home Depot is to have the best price in town, bar none.
This portion of Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
We are ready for the third period at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto. It's a 3-2 hockey game. Ribeiro, Korolev, and Berezin, the scorers in the second period. In the first, it was Savage and McCauley. And the shots, 10-8 in the first, 9-8 in the second, 19-16 overall, Toronto. And some real fine goals tonight.
No penalties at the end of the period. We showed you that mix-up between Koivu and Antwerp, but no penalties called.
So, third period. Puck dumped in by Montreal. Karpatsev bumped on the boards. Fell finally. And the Canadiens going to get the puck. Koivu tried a shot, didn't get through. It hit Karpatsev and cleared. Reimer's back to touch it, and that's an icing call against Maple Leafs.
Sergei Berezin got a great goal to put the Leafs up 3-2, but let's have a look at the goals scored in the second period. Montreal got the first one on Ribeiro's wicked slap shot from the dot on the power play for his first NHL goal. And then on a controversial goal, you can see Hackett thinks he's got the puck covered. Korolev comes in, digs it out, and puts it in. Now here's the rush by Berezin. A rolling puck slap from 58 feet out. Nobody took Berezin. He went to the net and got the rebound.
Canadiens nearly get loose. That was Linden after the faceoff. Nearly got to the net. They're on the move up. Harrell, quick pass. Thomas coming on the side against Dykehouse. The two of them go to the ice. And it'll be Thornton for Canadiens. Here's the puck up to Cummins. That didn't get too far. And offside now.
Well, I mentioned that Steve Thomas has gone. This is his 10th game. He hasn't scored a goal. He's only been held pointless in 2 games out of the 9 he's played. And Dykehouse, the new defenseman for Montreal, just acquired from Philly, does a nice job stopping Steve Thomas up short at the corner of the rink. Thomas in his career against Montreal, 45 games, he scored 22 goals. He needs that first one. When goal scorers go without goals for lengthy times, the net gets to be about the size of a baseball.
And other side of the ledger, Savage tonight scored in the first period, and that's his 10th of the season.
To him, the net's the size of a soccer net at the moment.
The chance comes back for Canadiens around the net. Fell. Up the puck out goal, down the ice. It gets all the way. And it has to be an icing call again against Montreal this time.
Dmitry Kristich was drafted 120th overall by the Washington Capitals from the so-called Kiev team. And here's a little summary of his career as he scores a goal for Washington. And then he puts one in for L.A. And then in the trade from L.A. to Boston, he scores 29 goals in both last year and the previous year. Was acquired by the Leafs yesterday and has had 4 shots on goal to lead both teams in that department, but hasn't been able to find the back of the net yet.
He's been close in this game. He's had some chances.
He's been skating. He says he's in shape, but until you play some games, you're not in game shape. So it may take a little while before he feels like the rest of the players do.
Toronto will come back to center ice to pick it up. Carberlay now near his own line. Berezin takes his pass, was covered. Didn't get anywhere. Skavich tried it. Up to Carberlay. Trying to get inside. Nearly did. Kicked away by Ulanov. He lost his stick. Booted the puck away, and Savage gets going again. Savage gets set. Sharp angle for him now. He fell, but got him behind the net for Chinsky. Tries to come out front. Korolev stopped him. Savage, however, is out. Lays it in for Koivu. Chinsky. And he was hammered on the boards in the corner. Koivu fell. Savage again with the puck. Chinsky tried to get it back to him. Now the pass, and Joseph got a stick on that. Cleared in behind it again. Berezin had a chance to move it out. Carberlay left it for Bulk, and now Berezin again. He has a little room on that left side. Coming in. Oh, he just missed. Post on the far side. Canadiens the other way. Barrel left it, gets it back. And then Markov intercepted a pass. Thornton chased him, and Domi slapped it right to the defenseman at the line. Thornton shot, weak one, stopped by Joseph. Markov coming away. Hooked the puck on the boards and out. Domi again. Down to center, headed in before he hits center ice. But Warner's in to pick it up quickly. Then against the icing. Back out for Montreal. Pass through center, Linden. Can't get in. Ribeiro did, and Linden was there and couldn't get a shot. He was tied up. He had Joseph out, and he had lots of room. Leafs shoot down the ice. Ulanov on it, and that is icing call against Toronto Maple Leafs.
Whatever your game, there's one place you'll always score big. Canadian Tire. Still the right place to do it.
Ray Bork and the Bruins are in San Jose, and that'll be our second half of the Saturday night doubleheader tonight. Boston at San Jose. And don't forget, our first Blue Pickup Cup game. Team Joseph versus Team Draper. Watch it. You'll enjoy it. The guys who played in it did. They tell me it'll be our feature from now on. Through to the end of it all. The cup is won. That Blue Pickup Cup, by the way. Joseph lost the stick for a second, got it back in a hurry. Montreal moving it. In deep it goes, Darby. Lost it. Canadians, Weinrich had to hustle back. He did. Now he pounds it on the boards and doesn't get a back cross. It's deflected in front by Thomas. The penalty is coming up. Thomas got loose all right and tipped it and nearly scored. He might get a penalty.
A revolutionary new engine. A revolutionary new space. A revolutionary new car. Introducing the Toyota Echo. Find out what all the noise is about.
Thomas doesn't believe it, but he is the one who gets the penalty. Watch it.
Watch Thomas go to the front of the net, then he's pushed into the goalie by Dykhouse, and the referee decides Thomas made no attempt to avoid bumping the goalie. And so he'll sit for 2 or less, and Montreal has the power play. They're 1 for 3 on the power play tonight.
Well, actually, he was hit. He was only about 2 feet away from the goalie.
It would have been a spectacular move to avoid Hackett. However,
he's gone. Canadians now with the man advantage. They have the only power play goal in the game. Scored to start the second period by Ribeiro. So he's on again. Dumped it ahead, but easily cleared by Toronto. Koivu is back. Weinrich is right behind him. Ribeiro goes the other way on the left side as Koivu comes to center. Back to the line for Weinrich, knocked down in front of the net. Ribeiro picked it loose. And Weinrich missed it at the blue line. Penalty time, 1:10. 3-2. Warner stole it, but couldn't get a shot. Weinrich, quick pass. The Canadians to center. Koivu, a good move. Finally caught. Now it's played into Savage, but he stepped over the line before he took the pass, and he's offside.
Saku Koivu, the injury bug has been his nemesis the last 3 years. He leads the team in assists with 8 and plus-minus with a +5. And he was drafted 21st overall in '93. And there's Bob Gainey, the general manager of Dallas, another captain of the Montreal Canadiens. And Bob's Dallas team will be in here Monday night to play the Leafs. And that will be the 3rd game in 5 in a row. At home for Toronto. Atlanta's in Wednesday, and we'll bring you the Calgary game next Saturday.
Canadians leave by charter after this game for home. They play Monday. Canadians move up. They're on the power play. Can't get near Joseph. Not so far anyway. And again, they're offside. And they might call this one intentional and bring it back. Linden argues, but they're going to bring it back.
Ribeiro got slashed in the finger, and you can see the nail has already been pulled up, and it's bleeding underneath it. And this is not a serious injury, but look at this. Warner slashed him, and now the trainer is trying to relieve the pressure. There's the slash, and he got his finger pinched between the slashing stick of Warner and his own stick.
And you can see how he's lost the color already in that ring finger. That nail was going to fall off. And his big problem now might be hanging onto the hockey stick for the rest of this game.
Canadians win the draw in their own zone. Here's 6 minutes of play in the third period, and it's Toronto up by a goal. Killing off his penalty. 30 seconds left to kill. Got in for Stevenson. Dykehouse, can he keep it in? He does. Linden hangs onto it. Looks to the net. Back of the goal, Stevenson trying to come out front where Darby was waiting. Couldn't get the puck to him. Stevenson to Linden. Penalty outdone. 5 seconds left. Dykehouse, good play at the line. Now the shot. Blocked. Richter fired it right at Korolev. And he skated to center before shooting it in. And again, it's a glove pass. And that stops that play. Nearing 6 minutes of play in the third.
Football ain't the same without the crowd. You could be with Canada's biggest crowd outside Atlanta at Budweiser's Super Bowl party. Find this label in specially marked cases of Bud, and you're in. Must be legal drinking age. Call for no purchase entry.
Premium cut lumber. Quality wood products with fewer gouges and knots, less bark, warping, and twisting. Other lumber doesn't stack up. Premium cut. Quality wood products. Only at the Home Depot.
Welcome to Miami! Or not?
Unless that's their expansion team, they're getting younger every year. But check out that Windstar!
Whoa! 4 doors, seating for 7, dual airbags, 4-wheel ABS.
And a 5-star safety rating 6 years running.
Now that's a dynasty.
Now lease a 2000 Windstar LX for just $368 a month. Only at your Alberta Ford dealer.
So, you want to catch the face-off?
Yeah, why not? I'll spring for hot chocolate.
Look out, big spender.
Oh, you find them everywhere, Marie. Everywhere.
There's one every game. You're a popular guy in that province of yours.
5:56 gone by in the third period. 3-2 Toronto. Leafs have killed off the penalty. Thomas on the ice now. Montreal move it up. Cummins cross center with it. Fired a long pass into Thornton, and Curtis Joseph decided to leave it up. Got there in front of the Montreal player. Canadians do not keep it in. Go offside. Yes, Perot cleared, and he does. So the play continues, and Markov shoots it from center ice. Markov stays inside the line, watching Canadians. Cummins move it out. Now Cummins brings it in. Dropped it back neatly. Poulin into Thornton. Got in front of the net. Thornton made a good effort to tie the game. And there's going to be another power play here. I'm sure it's for the Canadians.
Yannick Perreault is going to get the penalty ball, but he saved a goal, I am sure, because the net was wide open. Look to the right of Joseph after this attempt by Thornton. There it is. Joseph was nowhere near, and Cummins was brought down from behind by Yannick Perreault and saved a goal. Because look at Joseph. He's in a hopeless position if Cummins can ever get a stick on the puck.
Looking is the call, and the time you see, 6:46, third period. You have to be impressed with the Canadiens' play tonight, though. 9 regulars out, and this has been a fine effort by Montreal. They're down the goal, looking to tie it now. Koivu feeds it in. Lachinsky took a whack at it from the doorstep. It's high over the glass. Knocked into the crowd by Korolev as he tried to clear it with a stick up.
Now, the Leafs are in a little trouble here in the face-off department. They've only got 2 centers who are over 500 in face-offs won. One of them, Sundin, who's hurt. The other is Perreault, who's in the penalty box. So your penalty killing is in tough shape if you keep losing the draw. Raczynski walks out from behind the net, can't get it up high enough, quick enough to beat Joseph. Now, let's see this face-off.
Again, Canadians control it right in front of the net. He's had 2 players there to try and clear it. Doesn't get out. Savage lost it to Yuskevich, and he'll shoot it down the ice. Weinrich, the defenseman, coming back. Weinrich. Lots of time to move it out. Has to go back because Volk is right on top of him. Now he makes the play to Koivu. Volk is chasing him, but the pass from Koivu was good. Montreal get the zone and then lose it, just like that. And Volk falling, couldn't get it much further than center ice. Weinrich speeds it up. From the line, Koivu getting away from Volk. Pass to the side of the net. Canadians after him in there. Another close play in front of Joseph. Savage was open in front. It was deflected away from him. Ribeiro played it ahead. Raczynski fired it right at Joseph, and he was there on the short side. And it's cleared by Toronto. Nearing 9 minutes of play in the 3rd period. Toronto leads by a goal, and 35 seconds left on this power play for Montreal. Up they come. They decide to shoot it in this time and try it that way. Davidson moved too far, and the Leafs get it out again. Montreal trying to move in one more time. 15 seconds left with the extra man. They do get in. Linden had to turn back goal. Linden's pass to the line. Long shot by Ulanov is deflected away from Joseph. And the Leafs got it to the line and got out. Penalty is over now. And the puck is finally cleared down the ice. For the icing. Unless Perreault can get there. Cannot.
Hackett came out of the net by mistake, I think, and went off the icing.
That negated the icing. When the goaltender leaves, it looks like he might play it. They wave it off right away. Hero now stepped in. Nice pass. And the shot by Hoagland is wide on the short side. Good setup by Perreault. Perreault's in there again trying to steal it from Weinrich. Montreal can't move it out. Nearing the halfway mark now of the 3rd. They get it to center ice. The chance was up there poking at it. Kristich stole it from him. The Canadians get it back. Thornton has to go back and get away from Hoagland. Lost it. Kristich comes in. Nearly got to the net. And Korolev goes around the goal. Korolev centered it. Hackett stopped that pass out. Another penalty coming against Montreal this time. And the Leafs keep the pressure on. Finally, the play is called. And now Toronto will go on the power play.
Well, you know, when you're hemmed in your own end, as Montreal was, and the Leafs were cycling and getting some chances, that often a penalty occurs, especially at the end of a shift. And in that situation, Scott LeChance gets the penalty, and you can see by the expression on his face, the legs were on fire and the lungs weren't working very well. And when that happens, you cheat a little bit, and you get a penalty. So the Leafs with 10 minutes and 10 seconds left in the 3rd period, and here's the penalty. The Leafs did some nice work in front of the net. You can see the penalty as he was knocked down.
That's interference. That'll be the call, I think. At any rate, comes at 9:50 of the 3rd.
Hackett, Bob, is still slow to get up on every whistle. Now he's hanging across the crossbar. He took that awful hit when he and Webb collided on Long Island on Monday. And a half a dozen times in this game, he has made signs that he may not be able to continue. But give him credit. He's a gutsy guy and a great competitor. And all the trades and roster moves Montreal has made lately, you're looking at the best one right there. He has solved a huge problem since the departure of Patrick Roy by giving Montreal some very steady goaltending, and he's done it tonight, too.
3-2, Toronto leading. That's Theodore, the backup goaltender on the bench. Earl gets it back. Doesn't shoot it. Oakland fired one in. That was a pass for Perot that whipped by him. Perot now falling. And it's Yuskevich for Carberlay. Back for Yuskevich. Earl sets one up. The line Yuskevich. They just pass it around outside. And the Montreal Canadiens were going to get in front of Hackett that time to help him. And they cleared. Yuskevich back. 1:20 left on the power play for the Leafs. Perot, nice pass again by Perot. Thomas poked it in deep. Richter can't clear it. It's stopped at the line. But now, it's lifted away by Darby. Carberlay has a little room on this rush. But he turned back. Now, not so much room. Turns again. Then up to Kristich. Good move. Kristich pass right wide. Beresin couldn't handle it. It was too high for him. Beresin comes in to pick it up. Left it on the boards for Korolev. Long shot gets in here. This with the far side. More of a pass from a shot with a man open to the left of Hackett. The Leafs control it now. Karpatsev takes the shot. Centered. Kristich was tied up in front of the goal. Beresin. Two Canadians watch him. Kristich right through the crease. Difficult angle with that, and he was trying to poke it by Hackett. Now it's centered. Tipped away by the Canadian player in front of the net. Darby. Toronto all around him. Long shot goes wide again. 8 seconds left on this power play. Beresin to the blue line, and they lose it. And it's knocked down the ice. And the penalty now is over. 8 minutes left to play in period number 3. The Leafs by a goal, 3-2. Toronto backing up. Great puck control on that power play, but nobody wanted to take the long shot. Savage intercepts and shoots it in. Markov whipped it down the ice and hit the referee, and on the Leafs a break. Warner's shot was blocked by Hackett. A good pad save. Markov couldn't get it through. Flipped it in there, and Domi got it loose, but the whistle is gone. 7:34 remaining in the third. This is Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Labatt Blue.
When disaster strikes, help can't arrive fast enough. But when the emergency is over, the Canadian Tire Foundation for Families will be there. By bringing resources and people together in times of crisis, the Canadian Tire Foundation for Families helps families when they need it most. Across the community and across Canada, picking up the pieces and putting lives back together. That's the Canadian Tire Foundation for Families.
Hi, Norm.
Hi.
Just a sec.
Sure.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Tomorrow on CBC, it's Wind at My Back, followed by Dead Aviators, as a young girl discovers the secret of the Porter's Pond ghost.
Hackett being attended to by the trainer, who brought some smelling salts out, so Hackett isn't feeling too well. And he's been knocked down 2 or 3 times, but you wonder whether Hackett still feels the effect of that enormous hit when Webb of the Islanders ran right into him. Hackett didn't see him coming. Webb thought he could get the puck. There was no intention by Webb to run over the goalie, but I don't think I've seen a goalie hit that hard And here he is. This was a game this week.
Monday.
And he's going to hang in there. Give him A for effort. I'll tell you that. And here's the shot right here. McCauley lets it go. And then it's wide of the net. Hackett tries to freeze it and can't. And the whistle goes, and then watch him. Looks like he's so weak he can't get up, but he's just still in there. The backup goalie, Theodore, has not moved an inch. So there's been no indication he's coming in.
Shoulder problems for Hackett and back spasms, and that's never good news.
I don't know whether smelling salts are gonna cure those two maladies.
Toronto has had 20 shots, and there's number 21, and he saved that one. 3-2 Maple Leafs, 7:25 left to play in the third. Skavich back there. Falk doesn't reach him. Now it does. Swings at it, but the Canadiens keep it in. Up the center ice. Now Savage again. Waited too long to make the move on that one, and Korolev for Toronto. Savage cannot stop him. Ulanov will get back, I think, in time in front of Falk. Falk nearly got there. Koivu tapped it down, tried to hit Savage with a pass. It hit a stick and went right to Skavich. He gave it to Korolev. He tapped it ahead. Korolev had a stick lifted. Nice play by Linden. Skavich fired it right away. A chance was up there to stop it before it could get out, and now it does. Canadiens bring it in. Three of them on the rush. Pass intercepted. It was intended for Rivero. The Leafs move on. Berenson again trying to get to the net with it. Rivero got back and took it away from Berenson. Berenson has the lead goal for the Maple Leafs. Scored at 18:32 in the second. End-to-end rush. Beauty. And Joseph, the goaltender, got an assist. 6 minutes left in the third. And the Leafs are still leading by that one-goal margin. A chance. Back to his own line with it. Tula chance again. Stevenson just allowed the puck to roll in. Now he heads off. Canadiens changing once more. Kristich puck. Recovered though to get a pass away. Johnson didn't see it. And he was Johnson hit hard. He's back on his feet though. Howe didn't like it. He continues. Dykehouse makes sure it got in, and then he heads off. Carpet set. Gets the puck out. Ulanov was back waiting. Ulanov, short pass ahead. Montreal flipping it in was Poulin. There's Joseph, doesn't know which way to go, so he goes to the middle. Down the ice.
The alley-oop pass. Wednesday night, the Leafs got a breakaway on it.
This is Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Labatt Blue.
Kokanee, brewed in the shadow of the Kokanee Glacier, has begun to take on peculiar glacial-like qualities, such as tacking, the ability to fuse objects together through a quickened freezing process. This can make situations like work, dating, and even left field very uncomfortable. We apologize for any inconvenience. Glacier fresh-tasting Kokanee, it's the beer.
There's a line of benchtop and stationary tools out there from Rigid, a name professionals have trusted since 1923. Built to last, each one carries a lifetime warranty. Engineered for the serious woodworker to be the finest tools available. But there's one thing you should know. You're probably going to want a bigger garage. Rigid Tools, now at the Home Depot.
This portion of Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
Owen Nolan has 8 goals, and he leads the National Hockey League in scoring with 17 points. And he's with San Jose against Boston. Joe Thornton and company in our second game tonight. And in our intermission of that second game, you'll see our first Blue Pickup Cup game. Team Joseph against Team Draper. First game. second half of the Saturday night doubleheader. Right after this tilt here in Toronto. The Maple Leafs are leading the Canadiens 3-2, 5:07 left in the third. Face off, won by Toronto. And Yaskevich gives it to Berezin. He just had to fire it out quickly. He was covered. Korolev missed it near center ice. Pass up on the wing. Savage poked it ahead. Savage gets it again. Takes the shot. Deflected. And just missed. Kuchinski leaves it in the corner. The Maple Leafs will just shoot it away to the line. Berezin comes up with Korolev. Has to go again. Does. Now Korolev with the rebound off the Canadian defenseman. Berezin went after it. Korolev now plays it behind the goal, and there was the chance. Kept in though by Anderson. Savage whipped it out to center ice. Koivu did not reach it. Canadians are trying to make the change as Thomas turned and shot it back in. Weinrich in the way. Anthony Markov was up there for Toronto. Now Ulanov. 3:55 remaining in the third. Ulanov, the defenseman to center. Gets up over the line and dumped it in wide of the net. Canadians going after it. Darby couldn't find it. Oakland took a swing at it. Did not get the puck out. Kuhlman lost the chance to move it around the net. And the Leafs clear. 3:30 left. Toronto 3. Montreal 2. Berezin the go-ahead goal with a minute 28 left in the second period. That's Markov. Pulled away from Cummins. And Weinrich will come back in his own zone. Deep pass for a chance. He got the center, he dumped it in. And the Leafs are very careful now. They're all back. Lead by a goal. 3 minutes left. Kristich trying to go in. Could not get around Weinrich. The veteran stayed right in front of Kristich. But he gets the puck again. Takes the shot. It's blocked by Weinrich. Fired in deep. And a chance. Could not get the puck out. And move it again. And he still can't get it out. Now, the third time he lifts it to center ice. Carpets it back. He's bringing it in. Tap back to the line. Kristich shoots. Oh, one save by Hackett. That was nearly inside the post on the far side, but for the fast glove of Hackett.
Well, some good work by this line of Johnson, Kristich. And here's the shot from the top of the circle. It was labeled, and Hackett makes a nice catch with it. Look where he is. So the angle is reduced. Hackett is one of those goalies who plays a lot more on the white ice than some do on the blue. And you have to make a perfect shot if he gets that angle cut down on you.
22-19, the shots in favor of Toronto.
Let's have a look at the out-of-town scores. In Nashville, Edmonton was down 2-0 and scored 2 goals in 47 seconds to get back in the game, and the first NHL goal by Paul Conroy.
Pass back to the line by the Leafs. Shot tipped wide of the net. Koivu tries to bring it away. Flipped it around the goal to the corner, and the Canadians can't really get anything going now. The Leafs are checking more closely, protecting that 1-goal lead. Korolev from center shoots it in with 2 minutes left in the third period. Holding up, moving away from his check. Berezin. Out of 5, Berezin up to center. Savage is stopped. And Yaskevich was back. Toronto just moving up over center. Berezin once more, cuts in the middle. And the shot was deflected right to Hackett. And the Leafs shot is caught, and the Canadian players do not like the way the Leafs come after the goalie when he fell.
That's one of Berezin's favorite moves. He's got great speed, as we all know. Started outside the defenseman, cut inside, and then when he gets halfway by him, he lets the shot go that was deflected, and it was a bit of like a change-up. And here it is right here. Inside on Weinrich, shoots it. Weinrich gets a bit of the puck. Down goes Hackett, and then down he goes for another rest. He certainly didn't get hurt with that shot. He could have caught it with his bare hand. But he's a tired puppy. Jeff Hackett is tonight, but he's giving his chance a team to win. To win this game, he hasn't given up that fourth goal, but the clock's now the biggest enemy of the Montreal Canadiens.
Which reads 1:39 left in the third period. Face-off deep in the Montreal zone to the right of the goalie. Hero has been pretty sharp on the face-offs this time. He knocked it to the goal line, and Weinrich was upended. And going to make a penalty call as Weinrich was bumped. And that's a tripping call against the Maple Leafs. Thomas is arguing the play, but there'll be a penalty to Perreault. Anyway, now Hackett is over at the bench talking to the coach.
Here's the trip right here as he chops the feet from under Weinrich. Now the Leafs lose probably their most intelligent penalty killer and definitely their best face-off man. The only center on the Leaf team tonight that has won more draws than he's lost. Coming into tonight, he was a 60.8% success rate, which is right up among the leaders in the National League. So Pat Quinn has lost a premier penalty killer and his best face-off man. And there's 1:31 to go. And you know, if the Montreal Canadiens get it into the Leaf zone, you're going to have a face-off with the goalie out.
Well, the face-off comes now just outside the Montreal line, so Hackett will just get ready to move. Get back in, as you see now, into the blue ice. Montreal in and waiting for the Canadiens, hopefully, to win the face-off and move it down. 1:31 left. 3-2 Toronto. Here we go. Weinrich skates around the goal. That was Korolev up there. He got by him, took his time, got it down on the right side, and Rutschinski brought it in. Rutschinski got it back to the line, and again up to him. Rutschinski cuts for the net, looks back in front of the goal. There's the pass, shot, right on, rebound, dipped it high, but Joseph stopped it, and he now hangs onto it. Well, a big save, a big chance for Montreal, and a great save by Joseph.
Well, the Leaf penalty killers tonight have not been as conscientious of taking the point man on the penalty kill. And again, we see the Montreal point man get right into the hash marks and should have and could have scored. I mean, you have to realize where that guy is, especially the offside penalty killing forward. And Montreal has taken a timeout, and I don't know whether the Leafs are going to enjoy the timeout as much as Montreal. But Joseph made that key stop, and then he made another one on this play.
The thing now for the Maple Leafs is if they can get the puck at all in their own zone, there's no fear of icing, just let it rip down the ice, and the net will be empty as Hackett, I'm sure, will stay over at the Canadiens bench. And the face-off comes inside the Leaf blue line. Time left, 1:06. Joseph just made a great save to keep it at 3-2 Toronto.
Igor Korolev is going to Ottawa beat Buffalo 4-0. Hasek in goal after not playing last night in Buffalo's win. Martin Biron played, so the heat will be on Hasek when he goes home. Korolev in the first two periods was 2 face-off wins, 9 losses. And he's going to be the guy that takes it now.
Ron Tugnutt gaining the shutout tonight in that hockey game. Here's Hackett in this hockey game. Edging out of the net. He doesn't go to the bench.
Unbelievable, he's not on the bench.
Canadiens win the draw. Weinrich shoots it. Joseph a save. And the Leafs now can just fire away. And no icing, of course. They're short-handed. 55 seconds remaining in the third. Ribeiro coming out. Now Hackett is starting to move. And so he should. Down to center ice. Hackett goes. Ribeiro lost it and got it back. Canadiens lose it again. Korolev, though, fired it high, trying to get away, and it lifted over the boards at the Canadian bench and out of play. So they stopped the play, and the time left now is 41.2 seconds in the third period, in a game that's turned out to be a fine hockey game. The Leafs did not get the lead until the last minute and a half of the second period when Beresin scored a beauty going end-to-end, scoring Joseph got the only assist. 3-2. The score. Shot in. 35 seconds left as Weinrich takes it. He's moving slowly. Now, the center, broken out. Leafs will send them back again. The net empty. 25 seconds left in this hockey game. Unless the Canadiens can score and we'll get more action. Well, they move it up all right and get it in, but only 15 seconds left. Carter said, fired it, not out. It's cut in by Montreal. Into the corner, 9 seconds left. Played off the boards and back. Again, the Canadiens swarm the net box. It's in the second. And down the ice. And the game is over. The Maple Leafs have defeated the Canadiens for the second time this season. But this one, a close game. Toronto 3 and Montreal 2.
Well, the understaffed Montreal Canadiens gave Toronto all they could handle tonight. And the Leafs survive a very close game, 3-2.
Well, the Leafs finally got the lead at the end of the second and then hung on to win the game 3-2. This is Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Labatt Blue.
Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Labatt Blue. A whole lot can happen out of the blue.
Feed your people what they love. One of our family value meals from Anagapolis.
The new Mastercraft. It's tough stuff.
I will talk louder and say exactly what I feel and whistle at all the cute boys in their pickups.
It's never easy taking those first steps, but by starting to save now for post-secondary education, even small savings will grow over time. And with the Canada Education Savings Grant, the Government of Canada will help by adding 20% to any amount you deposit into a registered education savings plan, a grant of up to $400 each year for each child. For more information, call now. Canada, our children, our future.
Toronto Maple Leafs run their season record against the Canadiens to 2-0 with a 3-2 victory this evening. The 4-3 stars in tonight's tilt. Goaltenders were sharp at both ends, but the #1 star goes to Sergei Berezan. Jeff Hackett, a great effort by Hackett coming off the injury last Monday, and Curtis Joseph, star #3. Sergei Berezan with a nifty end-to-end play. The original shot stopped by Hackett, but Berezan follows his own rebound, and with Dow's great hand scores. 3-2 Toronto. Back with Alan McCauley on Hockey Night in Canada in a moment.
There's no law that says you have to help out. To work up a callus or a blister from lending a helping hand. But to all of you whose nature it is to chip in, not for gratitude or glory, but just for a good, warm feeling inside, we'd like you to know we build every Ford truck to share the load till the work is done. Ford, for now, forever.
It's never easy taking those first steps, but by starting to save now for post-secondary education, Even small savings will grow over time. And with the Canada Education Savings Grant, the Government of Canada will help by adding 20% to any amount you deposit into a registered education savings plan. A grant of up to $400 each year for each child. For more information, call now. Canada, our children, our future.
Feed your people what they love. One of our family value meals from Anagapolis.
Okay, take a right here. Your other right.
With a 200 horsepower V6 engine, air conditioning, and a most appealing appearance, it can do that to you. The Chrysler Intrepid.
Hi, I'm Curtis Joseph.
Shot blocked by Joseph, rebound!
Stay tuned in the first intermission. We'll have the Blue Pickup Cup on Hockey Night in Canada.
The Blue Pickup Cup, brought to you by Labatt Blue.
Score was 1-1 in the first period, and Brian Savage had a really pretty goal, but if you're a hockey fan, you got to appreciate Alan McCauley, too, coming back off of last year with multiple injuries, and, of course, especially that concussion to stand in front and take it like that. Congratulations, Alan. Great goal to get your team back in it at that point. Thoughts on it first, the goal?
Well, the puck just seemed to be bouncing around out there a lot of the time, and same thing on that play. Steve Thomas tried to get it, and then bounced out to Yuski, and I just somehow managed to stay in front, and I got a couple whacks at it, and eventually it went in.
Right, and what I like about it, it shows you're not timid to go in where a guy's going to pay a price to stand there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a little bit of room in there, but certainly you do get hacked and whacked in there, and I haven't felt as nervous out there for the last couple games.
I don't mean to put pressure on you here, because Pat's sitting in the dressing room with a cigar watching now, but he's obviously sliding you back in rather carefully. I assume that's the reason, because you didn't play a ton in the game. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, it's been 7 months, and this is really the only it is my sixth game, and certainly been some ups and downs out there and struggle at times, but tonight it was certainly nice to get a second goal, and certainly that first one lifted a lot of pressure off myself, and you know, we didn't play a lot tonight, but luckily enough we cashed one in.
Sure did. How about the chemistry in the room? That's always a concern when you have the comings and goings you've had the last 2 weeks. How do you think this club will move forward after losing some pretty popular guys, especially Derek King, I guess, is one name that's cropped up?
Well, I don't know. I mean, certainly Derek was a very funny guy. Sat next to him in the room and had a lot of laughs and a lot of fun with Derek, and certainly he'll be missed. And along with the rest of the guys as well, Sully and Sylvain certainly missed out in the ice as well as in the room. And hopefully if we can give the same kind of effort as we did tonight, then maybe we won't have any problems moving forward.
Who deserves the credit for you bouncing back from a wonky knee and a wonky head?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I spent a lot of hours in the gym, and so certainly I'll take some credit for it. But the training staff here with the Maple Leafs has been excellent, and certainly my wife and my family have helped me through it.
Well, congratulations. A great comeback. That's 2 and counting. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll have more.
Alan McCauley, the Toronto Maple Leafs, 3-2 victory for Toronto over the Montreal Canadiens. Coming up, Boston and San Jose. And Scott Russell with former Habs and Leafs coach, now the head man in Boston.
Pat Burns joins me now. 9 games, no wins, and yet you're still in a very philosophical mood. What do you base that on?
Well, of course, everybody's reminding us that we have no wins, Scotty, but the way the team is playing is not necessarily the way the record shows. I thought that there's the game against Toronto that we certainly weren't into the picture, but every other game we've been in the games. We've had trouble finishing, and I rewatch the tapes of some of the games, and every night after the game I'll sit there and watch it, and it seems that we have a shot on net, the rebound's there, and our player happens to be on the other side. So, and nobody actually has blown us out of the rink either. I think we're in every game right till the end. The goaltenders are certainly not at fault. They've played well for us. The competition between Graham and Tallis has been extraordinary, and I think that it's a question of time before we turn the corner here, and I'm very positive about it.
In some ways, are you forced to be patient, Pat, because you have young guys who are key to your team, in particular Joe Thornton and Sergei Samsonov, who are expected to be there?
Yeah, well, they're expected to do a lot of things for us, and they're beginning. They're only 20 years old, and they're beginning their third year in the National Hockey League, but they're also our second line front runners or our first line front runners on some nights. So whereas you compare a team like San Jose, where they have a couple of young hockey players in Marlowe and Stewart and those guys, but they're surrounded by some good veterans, and we have some excellent veterans. But even if you look at Anson Carter or you look at Jason Allison, it's only really their third full year in the National Hockey League. But they're trying and they're working hard, and it's time to really put out and try to get some wins. If we win tonight and win tomorrow in Anaheim, we have a 500 trip, and I think we'd be 8th and overall in the conference, and everybody just calms down.
I know you're in a difficult position because you're the coach and not the manager, and yet you are missing some players who were there for the playoff run a couple of years ago and last year. Byron Defoe being one, Tim Taylor's not there, Dmitry Kristich is now gone. How do you approach that with the management from a coach's point of view? Do you say, I'd like to get these guys signed because they'll make my team better?
Well, all coaches want the best players available, but we're all alike. We're really selfish. We want to win right now, but I understand what Harry's doing, and he's tried everything possible to sign Byron, and things haven't worked out. In the other cases, well, you know, you have to tell the players, and I've told them, I said, hey guys, you're going to forget it. Those guys aren't going to be there, so you're going to have to forget about this and move on. And it's been repeated. Now I'm starting to lose patience over a little bit, but it's you can't sit around. And I think the whole NHL, I think there's a lot of young players, Scotty, that are sitting at home right now losing large sums of money, and it's like the housing. I think so everybody wants the market value, but the houses are going down, and all of a sudden the market value is not there. So I think what the problem is that everybody's going to have to give their serious, head a serious shake and say, hey, maybe there's no more money out there like everybody thinks there is. So I think we still have an excellent hockey club, and it's a question of turning it around and getting going the proper way.
Good luck with a complicated situation, Pat.
It's not that complicated. It's not that complicated.
Pat Burns of the Boston Bruins.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Pat. There's the winning embrace for Curtis Joseph. Toronto 3, Montreal 2. Don Cherry and his thoughts when we continue on Hockey Night in Canada.
These are some of the iciest slopes in the world. Goodyear thinks it's a perfect place to demonstrate their Ultra Grip ice radials. I think they're nuts.
Goodyear's Ultra Grip ice radials are made with ice lock and innovative silica compound. You get improved traction and control on snow and ice.
Airtime!
This winter, get where you're going.
Hey, race you back up.
With Goodyear's Ultra Grip ice radials.
Goodyear.
Stick and pucks, $53. Wool caps, $42. NHL jersey, $114. 0 degrees, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Official card of the NHL and fan of the great Frozen game.
I am a living legend. My goalie stick is my sword and my shield. My mask, my armor, protect me from enemy fire. When players approach the net, they don't see a goaltender, they see a fortress. The hockey rink is my kingdom, and I am its guardian. What's your dream?
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you by Tim Hortons Iced Cappuccino. It's creamy, it's smooth, it's deep down cool.
Back at the Air Canada Centre where the Leafs defeat the Canadiens 3-2. And there was a controversial goal in the second period. Get to that in just a minute, but Korolev's definitely a little suspect. Let's start with Alan.
All right, now look, I always used to tell my goaltenders, you make the first save,
and my defense will take care of the rest. Concentrate on the saves. Now watch the whole 3 goals are the defense's fault. Now watch McCauley's. He should have been on his rear end. Soon as he touched it the first time. Let's see McCauley's. I think it's the first one. Soon as he takes a shot, should have been bang. You know where? We're going to see it?
Yes, it's coming.
Oh.
Suspense. Usually if you build it up a little.
Now watch this here. That's all. Now watch. He takes a shot. He should have bang, bang. Should have been down. Guy can't do that in front of the net. Watch him standing there. Bang. Watch. Bang, bang. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's the other one. Can we see a better shot of that one? Is this? See, he makes the first save and in. Geez, they're fast, I'll tell you. Anyhow, can we see that one that Korolev's won again, or am I out of here? Can we see it again?
I'm just getting some instructions. We're gonna. Can we see the goal though? Yeah.
Just see the goal again.
What do you think of the call?
It wasn't a good call. And it wasn't walking your friend, so you're happy anyhow. You cannot watch. You cannot go in and knock the goaltender. Watch. Watch. He's got it in his leg. Watch. You can't do that. Hit the guy out of the way. What is that? That's football. Can't do that stuff.
I have to say it's Steve Walkham. He's my friend from North Bay.
Watch this. What? Get him out of the way. What is that? You can't do that stuff. That's ridiculous. Knock the goaltender down and put the puck in? Ridiculous.
The puck was not fully covered. As Steve was in perfect position, 2 things going for him. The puck was partially visible, and he was in
Wait a minute.
position.
Isn't there a rule you can't go in and nail the goaltender?
Shouldn't be able to nail a goal.
Absolutely. Nail him in the crease. You can't do that and then put the puck in. What are you, nuts? From now on, if that one counts, every time they go to freeze the puck, go in and knock him down, put the puck in.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, that's a product of this new rule.
But I don't blame Korolev. Yeah, I don't blame Korolev or all those guys. He was doing his job. It was a Montreal defense who Hackett makes the first save in all the goals. Are we going to show the one where he gets this on the boards, or we don't have time?
I don't believe so.
All right.
What do we got time for, Paul? I just want to make...
Have we got time?
Okay, good.
Go see the one on the boards?
No, we're going to show the out-of-town scores. Just got enough time to do that.
Oh, good.
Ottawa, did you know 1-4-0?
Ottawa, I tell you, boy, are they smoking. I tell you, got to give that Jack Martin a lot of credit. Tugnut, boy, comes back to beauty.
Surprised they came back with Hasek?
Hasek. Hey, I said Curtis Joseph last year. You remember that? Who's the greatest goaltender in the world? Hasek or Joseph? I said, give me Joseph on the long run anytime. Look at the way Hasek's playing now.
Well, he's, you know what Mark Levy used to say, once you say you're going to retire, you might as well have retired.
I think he is.
Steve Correa got his third. Brad May for Vancouver. They're in overtime now.
Brad May going.
And Brad Isbister has a pair for the New York Islanders. So that's in OT. We'll keep you posted. Same, funny enough, they're in OT tied at 2 also in Atlanta tonight. Patrick Roy against Damian Rhodes, the former Senator goaltender, having a good night.
Good on the save.
Good. Tampa Bay leads 2-1 in the third period. The Calgary Flames won in Fort Lauderdale, trying to move in and take advantage of the Lightning, who've been really struggling. But Dan Keza, former Flame, has the go-ahead goal. Carolina leads 2-0 against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sammy Kapanen's been sensational.
How about that, Paul Maurice? Nobody says a word about him.
Well, last night he lost 7-3.
Doesn't matter. He's winning now.
He's doing a great job. David Tanabe also having a sensational run there for the Hurricanes. 3-2 Nashville leading the Edmonton Oilers. How about that? They could make that 3 in a row for Nashville after they knocked off the 2 teams who met for the Stanley Cup earlier in the week.
Just want to work hard. That's all the expansion teams do. Work, work, work.
Brendan Shanahan leads 1-0. Bob Murray, think he enjoyed the satellite hot stove tonight?
Whoa-wee.
Lots of discussion
about
Bob Murray.
Too,
I know, he's sitting watching TV when everybody said his job's in jeopardy. But it is, let's be honest. St. Louis and New Jersey won. Well, you got to imagine if they don't soon win a game. Although I like their club. I really do like Chicago.
They're going to turn it around.
They need a goaltending performance.
Yes.
Somebody's got to help them. It's like Grant Pierce said in Calgary. He's got to steal a game, and he did last night.
Absolutely. You got to have a goalie steal a game once in a while.
I like Anders Eriksson, and I think that their kids do want, when he gets back, he's got his bell rung, of course. Daze's looking better. Washington, Phoenix, of course, just about to get underway. The Coyotes, like Detroit, among the hottest teams in the NHL. And Boston and San Jose.
I know how Pat feels.
Yes, you sure do. In fact, what he's doing reminds me a lot of when you were there with Harry Sinnen. We'll talk about that if we have time.
Oh, yeah?
Let's go to Saku Koivu, captain of the Canadiens. I'm sure he's not too pleased with how the Leafs tied the game up. He's with Scott Oak.
Ron, thank you. We'll find out how Saku Koivu feels about coming in here with an injury-riddled lineup and coming that close. Is it frustrating?
It is frustrating right now. I mean, same thing happened against Colorado the other night. We played a strong game defensively, got all the chances to score the goals, and then we come up, you know, by losing by 1 goal. And even we're getting some injuries, having some injuries, we're still playing good hockey. But it seems that it's just not good enough right now.
Yeah, 4 one-goal losses so far for the Canadiens this season. How much has it crossed your mind about how different the season might have been otherwise?
Well, the line between losing and winning right now in this league, it's really small, and somehow we have to find the way to win these tight games. I mean, right now, instead of having 6 points, we would have been up in 10 points, and everything would be a lot different. But you know, there's a long way to go. We have a lot of games left, and we have to keep playing the way we are. And hopefully, the puck is going a bit more in for us, and we're getting some wins.
Now, I know I'm asking this at a vulnerable time, but what do you think of the in the crease rule now after the second goal by the Leafs?
I think the rule is okay, but I think it's unacceptable, you know, allowed those goals. I mean, maybe the puck was playable there, but it took so long. I mean, 1 second, and then they knock Hackett on his butt there, and for me, that's not right. I mean, I think the referee made a big mistake there, and but right now it's too late for us.
All right, Saku, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
There's Saku Koivu, captain of the Canadiens. Ron?
Scott, thank you. To clarify, the change in the rule isn't so much the puck was in the crease, so he can go in there. But they're crashing the nets like crazy because there's no fear of...
I just said that.
Yeah.
You going to show the other one? All right, now watch
There we go. Now, just to clarify, this was Steve Webb's hit on Jeff Hackett.
Now watch Webb take a little peek as he's going. Everybody said he didn't. Watch him take... Oh, you can't see him here. The one up above. You see the one up above? Anyhow, now watch him take it. He saw him coming right there. Twice he saw him. He knew he was running into him. What a, you know... Watch, see him looking at him. Everybody said he...
What did you do? Should you suspend him?
Look, you think he's going to go into the boards that hard? He saw him coming, he nailed him. That's not right.
Would you suspend him for that?
I would suspend him, but it's not right. He should have got a good penalty for it.
Do you blame Jeff Hackett for going out like that?
No, he went out to feel the puck, that's all. There was he hit him, and where's his defense? He'd come in and get him. He deserves to get beat up.
All right, Kelly, what do you think of it?
Will that make the ugly one?
Well, I thought that it was worthy of a suspension. I mean, that was a blatant attack, and Webb certainly had an opportunity to hold up, and he knows that he's going against a goaltender that's not his size, and he doesn't have the momentum behind him, which Webb did.
Kelly, Rudy at San Jose, where they're standing by, obviously, the anthem's there, so we're going to duck out of that for just a minute. No disrespect to, obviously, the playing of the national anthem there, a little misfortune.
Yes?
All right. Doing the best we can.
I know we're doing the best we can. Anyhow, you shouldn't air his bear's hand. This guy, I like the gloves. Look at the gloves.
We'll be back in a moment.
I love the gloves.
Kokanee, brewed in the shadow of the Kokanee Glacier, has begun to take on peculiar glacial-like qualities, such as tacking, the ability to fuse objects together through a quickened freezing process. This can make situations like work, dating, and even left field very uncomfortable. We apologize for any inconvenience. Glacier Fresh Tasting Kokanee, it's the beer out here.
Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada. Brought to you by Labatt Blue. A whole lot can happen out of the blue.
Welcome to San Jose, California for the second half of the doubleheader on Hockey Night in Canada. The Boston Bruins against the San Jose Sharks. The Bruins have had a tough start to their